This is Playing in Traffic, where we play in traffic and talk about it. My name is Lewis Lee, and we got the fellas in the house. Anybody want to introduce yourselves? Ray?
Chassis John.
He's Chassis John. Greg Guarino, Motormouth Radio. Pleasure to be here.
Scott?
I'm Scott Rosen for Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
Worcester.
Jim?
Jim Listello, Long Island, New York, the official stalker of Motormouth Radio.
Hey, somebody got to be.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a world.
Sunday, sorry.
It's a world-renowned radio channel, so you got to stock them.
Absolutely.
Not car related, but you guys see that new TV show, Kevin Can F Yourself on AMC?
No.
I saw the coming attractions for it, but I have not seen the show.
So I just got done watching the premiere. It was a 2-hour. It's based here in Worcester, Mass.
Oh, yeah.
So they keep showing like Worcester Medical Center and this Worcester something. It's so funny. And everyone's got, the Massachusetts accent, the Boston accent. It's kind of funny.
Oh, you guys don't have an accent.
That makes for a good show, that accent.
Yep.
Hey, the ultimate movie is coming out this fall. It's the prequel to The Sopranos.
Yes.
Oh, I heard that.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Something of Newark.
It was it's supposed to be when he was a kid.
Yeah, well, let me tell you
yeah.
something. The guy they found to play Tony,
well,
when you look at him,
it's his son.
It's his son. It's Alec
okay. It's his son? Oh, okay. That's why. I look at him and I'm like, that's Tony Soprano.
Yeah, that's his son.
I didn't know it was him. I didn't bother to look at the credits at the end.
Angels of Newark, Saints of Newark, something of Newark.
I think Angels of Newark.
Yeah.
So the Saints of Newark.
Or the Saints.
Yeah. I know it was one of the two. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be good, man. I might go back and watch the whole Sopranos and get caught up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's worth it. That's a great show.
Well,
How many seasons was that on
they
for?
had an article in the paper the other day, and they were talking about the movie, and they gave a little backstory on the Sopranos, like to what happened before the show started, like how Jackie Aprile, all the guys, how they got embedded into the show, even if they weren't ever on the show, the names, in the mob lore. So it's like watching The Godfather 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool that they, there's that one scene when you're watching this movie thing. It's see Satchery Alleys.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. Going back in time.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good.
I can't wait. It's weird. It's being released in theaters, and on the same day, if you have HBO Max,
you can watch it at home.
You can watch it at home.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. I have to see if I got HBO Max. I don't know if I do.
Arco and Heidi are froze.
We're not froze here in New York.
Really?
I see them moving.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're frozen, freezing out this way, right?
They're froze on mine.
Yep.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up, guys?
Not much.
Can you hear us, or is it all glitched out again?
No, you're good.
It's good.
All right, awesome.
Talk so loud, you probably broke it. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Everybody's good. Good. I got my bus, and it's about tore apart.
I saw that. That's epic.
Yeah. It's going down, baby.
That's gonna be a blast off.
Yeah.
Like bus seats, like people put couches out on the side of the road. You have like a whole bunch of bus seats sitting out there.
Listen. Let me tell you. I took all the seats out, and I was stressing. I'm like, man, what am I going to do with all these seats? I'm going to have to store them until people come get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of my friends took 4 of them. So I put those aside. And I was like, let me throw a couple out on the street and see if anybody will take them. So my son and everybody, we just took them all out to the street. And we went to Dairy Queen, came back, they were gone.
Wow.
I was so happy. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And they were nice bus seats. Half the time when we see bus seats, they're like ratty and nasty.
Yeah.
We're the ones grabbing the seats most of the time.
Yeah.
I made it there in time. I'd have grabbed them all over that.
They were in good shape.
Right?
Man, I was happy. I was like, what am I doing with all these seats?
That's what I do here. Whenever I have something I don't want, I just put it out at the curb. You got to put it out on Sunday. The garbage guy comes on Monday.
I'm gonna put her on the curb.
The pickers come around Sunday night.
Yeah.
and they grab up everything.
You're putting me
Yeah,
on
so I was okay with just getting the seats out, but my son and my brother-in-law, they were like, let's hit it. So they kept going, man. Took the floor out. We got all the seats out and some of the ceiling.
Wow.
That's
That's
good.
awesome. So
Yeah,
what is the ceiling? Like, I mean, like
It's
I don't know that.
it's metal sheeting, like a
Yeah.
four by what is it? 4x8 sheet metal.
Okay, is there a gap between that and the outside roof?
Yeah, there's insulation in it.
Okay,
But
So
you're gonna lift the roof up like 18 inches too, aren't you?
it's
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna-
raise the roof.
Raise the roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise the
practicing
roof.
I'm practicing my slang. I believe it goes like this, right?
Yep. You got it.
That's
So
a,
yeah,
that's
I'm
I
a
want
New
that
York
recorded
thing.
somewhere that I slanged properly.
yeah, I'm gonna raise it 18 inches, and
Nice.
I'm gonna spray foam the insulation throughout.
Oh,
You're gonna love that.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
honestly, though, we
No.
have spray foam in our shop.
Best thing we ever did. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that stuff's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
John loves it so much he sprayed the outside of his truck.
Yeah.
a
Thanks.
truck was carrying it and it fell off the truck and it blew up onto his brand new vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
A whole
suck.
case of that super stuffed one in the red can,
oh my gosh.
right, with the yellow top. It
Okay,
fell
so
out of. I don't know what truck it fell out of. It was sitting on the interstate, a little more towards the middle lane than my lane. I was in the left lane, and a tractor trailer about 80 feet in front of me. He just drove right over it.
What are the odds?
I know, right?
What
So
are
the
the
problem was
One in a
he
trillion.
he drives over it, the box explodes open, and some of the cans explode and create like a curtain of that yellow stuff. And then there were other cans. As I drove through it, I had no place to go. Because
Right.
if I went off the road, I would have wound up in a swamp.
Oh dear.
I had no choice on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm going like 80 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And I couldn't go to the right because there was a pickup truck directly behind the tractor trailer.
Wow.
But a couple of those cans, like the top broke off of them, or they split, and they were flying, doing somersaults through the air, went past me, and one of them went into the windshield of the car behind me.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, it was a mess. I was flipping out. I didn't know what it was at first. I remember seeing the red can, but I'm like, what the hell? I hit the windshield wipers and it smeared.
That stuff is the stickiest crap ever, too.
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh,
and
that's
then and I
awful.
was in an area where it was limited exits. There's a part on I-75 where I travel a lot where it's about 15 miles between exits.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like driving with my head out the window.
Wait,
Tried
Did you-
picking it off, and I'm like, oh my God, it's that
Great
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
You thought you
that's-
ran with a
Fries can't do
Stay Puft
nothing.
Marshmallow Man or something
It was,
else.
yeah, it was insane. I got off
yeah.
the road, but and I used one of my stainless steel scrapers that we use to clean algae off glass fish tanks,
yeah.
and I was able to scrape that stuff
Oh my
like
God.
scraping ice.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
did I flip out? Because the truck was only
about
Oh,
2-3
God.
weeks old.
it was about what? Nah, it was like 2 or 3 months old.
What do
Yeah, it
you
was a
tell
couple-
your insurance company?
I went directly. I called Geico on the phone, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Here's the place to go. It's real close to where you live. Go there first thing in the morning." I rolled up there, and I walked in, and I told the guy what happened. And he walked outside, and he grabbed like their lead painter, and he went, "Oh my God!" He goes, "There's no getting rid of this stuff." He says, "We
Right.
have to literally just remove parts
Right.
and
Paint
put new
panels,
stuff
windshield.
on."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
It
you
was
get it on the
unbelievable.
book too?
It all went. The insurance took. Yeah, they had to give me a completely new grill, new, plastic headlight buckets,
Yeah.
turn signals, bumper cover, they had to refinish both front fenders.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they had to wet sand them
Right?
and then a couple coats of black and then re-clear them.
Damn.
They had to give me 2 brand new mirrors, and I got those big giant towing power mirrors. They had the guy's like, I said, can you just get the cases? He's like, no, we have to give you the whole assembly.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally took the truck apart. They had to drop the headliner down in order to get on the back of the GMCs. There's a kind of like a wing that's got the third light and everything in it.
Right.
And there was pieces that stuff that were on the roof that they were able to get rid of that and compound them, but they had to repaint the wing, the tail wing. It even got on one of the rear tail lights, believe it or not. Like the way the wind goes, it sucks around the back.
Yep.
It was literally on the back lens on the passenger side.
Do you have any pictures of that?
Grill, John. What are the
I have pictures. The grill was ridiculous. It was an $1,800 GMC grill.
What did the condenser look like behind it? You get the
That's
condenser
they had to change that. They had to change the condenser. It was clogged.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The radiator was okay because the condenser is literally the same size as the core.
Right.
So they had to change the condenser. The front chin spoiler.
Yep.
The fog lights. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
I bet you were really happy about that.
I was flipping out. And
no kidding.
It wound up taking them over 5 weeks to do the job.
I believe it. Yeah.
The dealership gave me a brand new Chevy 2500 to drive around in for the time being. They gave me this loaner, and so I was driving around in another brand new truck.
What are the freaking odds, though? I mean,
it was insane.
That's insane. That is insane. But we actually have like the real insulation spray foam. Not great stuff. Although we have some body work up here with great stuff.
That spray foam that they put up in the rafters and in the walls is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Our shop, it just, even in the summer, so it's really warm in the winter. It doesn't take much to heat it, and it's really comfortable in the summer.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. It stops condensation too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is really nice.
And I don't think with that fiberglass rollout insulation, that whatever you call it, it's I don't think you still get the condensation with that stuff though, you know?
Yeah.
Or with the styrofoam, same thing, you get the condensation, but that spray foam,
there's no room to have any.
I don't think there's anywhere for that stuff to.
No, it's directly adhered to the
condensate
outside.
or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I used to get a ton of condensation in my car trailer. It's from the temperature change. So once that foam is on there, the temperature change, it gradually changes. So that's where the condensation is, when it changes quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have any of that.
Yeah,
it'll be quieter and it'll hold the heat.
But ours is really loud for some reason. But maybe it's just because it's directly, there's nothing between. We didn't put anything in the roof. We just left it white.
Right.
The fireproofing. But that's so we could have a white roof.
Well,
or white ceiling. Yeah, white ceiling.
Because it lit it up and with the lights and everything, it makes it nice and light. Yeah. But that's what was weird is the highway is right by our shop.
Yeah.
But before, we never ever heard a car or truck driving by, and then I never heard anybody pulling up to the shop. And after they insulated it, it's like every time a truck or car goes down the highway, I'm looking out the window, and then now when somebody pulls up in front of the shop, I'm like, "Who's here?" I can hear it.
The big thing with that,
it's really weird.
Weird.
Our shop doesn't have tin on the walls either. Like if somebody comes around the back of the shop, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
Because the back 3 walls are tinned, but the front is kind of a busy wall. It's got 2 windows. It's got a bunch of power, like conduit and stuff. And we just haven't done it. So, because we were planning on adding one to the front, but now we're going to do a different direction. So we'll have to put the tin up and see if it makes a difference. But
but it seems like it made it louder in there since we had it insulated.
But
it's odd because a friend of mine, he's a chassis builder down here, Cameron. And his shop, it's all insulated like that. And when you walk in there, it's like walking into a recording studio.
Really?
It's quiet. It's ridiculously quiet to the point that when like somebody drops a tool or something, you just hear that sound, boom, and it's gone. There's no reverberation or echo. And we're talking, he's got about 12,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got high ceilings. He's got like 18-foot ceilings.
Does he have tin between the insulation and the room?
No, you know what it is? It's the building's made out of concrete block.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's part of it.
It's got a metal roof though, so it's metal over plywood.
We'll have to ask Tom about that.
But it's all, he's got that spray stuff in there, and it's like dead quiet in there. It's amazing.
I don't even care if it sounded like they were driving right through the middle of the building. It keeps it warm in the winter. So your bus will be toasty and it'll be cool. So,
yeah, I'm putting a wood burner in there as well.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a pot belly, a black pot belly.
Yeah, I want one where I could, heat up my tea or something on top.
Sure. Those are great. A nice antique one, with the griddle type top, so you can put the teapot or the coffee. Yeah,
that'll be nice.
I love that.
You should get one with the glass too, so you can see the flame. Where when you're sitting in there relaxing, you watch the fire,
that's exactly what I want to get.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Open up that door, toast some marshmallows.
Probably
maybe you'll find one in front of somebody's house in the street.
States, but who cares?
Yeah, if you guys come across one on the corner or at the trash, grab it, man. I'll redo the whole thing.
On Sundays.
Yeah, because it's they're cast iron, so I'll redo the whole thing if it's messed up. Put new glass or whatever I have to do.
Right. We see him once in a while up here. That's dropped the lids in my drink. It could be bad.
I'm repurposing a lot of stuff.
That's a fun way to do it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you kind of put your spin on it, your character in your bus. It won't be like the ones pumped out in factories like everybody else's crap.
They don't pump out back. Well, I mean, they do, but not his kind of bus.
Not his kind of bus.
No. They don't. They make different kind of buses in factories.
Yeah, mine's gonna have multicolored duct tape.
What's that other motorhome that you're trying to get rid of or something?
You got to make it.
A bus?
Where? What'd you say?
You had a trailer or a camper or something you were trying to get rid of?
Yeah, one of my friends has a trailer that I'm gonna strip out. I'm gonna take like the windows, the doors, the awning. The roll-out awning.
Oh yeah.
Take that stuff out. The controller, the electric box, all that stuff. I'm taking out.
Oh, very cool. So you'll be able to monitor like your water system and.
Yep.
Very cool.
And he's gonna paint it to look exactly like the Partridge Family bus.
Hey, I'm not scared. Now we're going with a purple, like a what's that? What's it called?
Plum crazy?
Not plum, but what's the other?
Color purple.
Nah, that's too much money. What's that fruit? Not fruit. That vegetable.
Eggplant.
Eggplant purple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good color.
Yeah, we're going with that. I'm gonna go with a flat.
Mm-hmm.
A flat.
Black in the right light.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna call Tammy and see if I can get some with a little pearl in it, so when it hits light, it might.
Oh yeah. Get a water-based one with some pearl. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna run solar panels and stuff on that too?
Yeah.
Yep. That'll be amazing.
So you're gonna be
off grid
to go. Yeah, it's like boondocking. I've been watching videos.
Yeah. Boondocking. Yep.
Boondocking.
Yeah, the panels. The panels are pretty cheap, but man, those batteries, man, they're like $900 a pop.
Right.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're expensive. But I got a dude, man. I got an inside dude that he does a lot of battery stuff. So he told me to get with him. So maybe I can give him a little better price.
His last name's Elon. His first name's Elon. His last name's Musk.
I wish that was one of my boys.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, get him on the show. Maybe we'll be one of our boys.
He'd be cool to get on the show if you could figure out how to get to him.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna call. I know a dude that knows him. I do. Yeah. I got to connect.
You know, forget everybody.
Last week, they were supposed to send off 2 rockets out of Cape Canaveral, and they did a test firing on the launch pad. They do that all the time with his rockets. They'll put some fuel in them, and they actually turn them on. on the pad, and you hear this loud boom and this huge thing of smoke. And then they shut them down. And one of them had a problem, so they delayed it. And Barb was still out at the beach condo, and she saw the test firing. She heard it and saw the smoke and everything, and she was all prepared for that launch on Friday. And they abandoned the launch and they moved it to just the other day. But she was going home, and the main road that comes from Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral and starts to head up kind of near Orlando is 528, and a custom Tesla that she had never seen this body design before, with completely blacked out windows, came up next to her in her Benz and then took off.
Yeah.
She's like, I saw this, the most amazing Tesla I have ever seen. I said, that probably was him.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, yeah, that's right. He was hanging around Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
She says,
Road.
I have never seen this Tesla ever. She goes, I've seen the models, the Model S and the Model 2. And she goes, this was not either of them.
Well, they got a little sports car looking one too. That
She said this thing was like kind of like a Cadillac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She said it was a 2-door. It was a coupe. It was swoopy looking, kind of like a new Caddy.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Oh my God!" And it just. She said she was going like over 80, and this guy came up next to her, hung, and then he was out like a rocket.
He was proving a little something to that Benz there.
Oh yeah, unreal.
What was that car we saw
Unbelievable.
in?
Genesis.
We saw a Genesis in
I think I'm in love.
South Carolina. Holy crap, that car was sick.
We were talking about it last week.
They're cool.
Oh,
Don't buy
man.
one.
Yeah, I'll never own one, but I can just.
No. It's
you
an
know,
affordable,
It's an
luxury
affordable
car
supercar.
with a lot of stuff going on.
Mhm.
But my wife had one, and
Really?
it literally in about a year and a half, everything started falling apart.
So it's pretty new, right? Like, how long have they been out?
For
Well,
a few years.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been out for a while.
9 years, 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good looking car though.
We'd never seen
Yeah.
them. Like up here, people are just practical. They're like, I think there's one Tesla in Bemidji, and I think there's one in Duluth.
And everything else you see is like a
It's
Ford
trucks.
or Chevy truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of this bad boy?
What is that?
The hell is that?
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini SUV.
Oh my God.
We had one
So
of those in
we're-
the shop a couple months ago.
When we
Wow.
were in Nashville, I saw a 4-door Porsche. I about stayed right beside it for a minute, and some
Hey.
people loved it.
Yeah. Scott, was it chrome?
It was that bright blue.
Oh yeah.
In fact, we did an Audi something or other. It's the same company.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my friends in New York has the first one that came into the country, Brian.
Really?
Yeah, and it's all chrome. He had it wrapped in chrome.
Oh,
Did you guys see that car show on Amazon? It's Faster, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he was on there with his Gallardo,
Yeah.
and it's all chrome. That's
Yeah.
my boy Brian,
Oh,
and
okay.
he just bought one. Well, it's been about 2 years now, but he bought one of these too and chromed it.
Wow.
you got to see the rotors, the brakes on that thing. They're gigantic.
There it is, right here. That's his right here.
Yeah.
That thing's beautiful.
Wait, let me get you a picture of both of them together. Must be nice to have two Lambos in the house.
Because he had that
Right.
blue Lamborghini or whatever it was on that show, Faster on.
No, it was the chrome one.
It was chrome.
Yeah. He that's a different one you're talking about. Maybe it was the first season. What season
Yeah,
are you
the
talking?
first season is what I'm
We've
talking
only
about.
ever
Yeah.
watched the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the all chrome. And that's it right there.
Yeah, it's not on the screen.
It's still green.
Oh, it's not?
The orange
Nah,
one.
Oh, well,
looking at the orange one.
oh wow. It won't let me wait a minute.
You might have to go back and then reshare your screen.
That sucks.
Right?
What kind of mess? Wait a minute, hold on.
What kind of podcast is this?
Yeah.
Really?
What kind of mess is this? Wait, hold on, try it again.
Get off your damn phone, woman.
Hey, I had to get things ready all by myself, so I forgot to share this tonight. I don't know. It's not my
Oh, I
job.
thought it was.
He's a
Same
phone
page
keeper.
as us.
Still got the orange one.
Oh, and it changed it on here too. It was on.
Sorry.
Turn your damn phone off,
That's a
woman.
white and black one or something.
Share what?
The show.
Look, back to the front page.
Yeah, go to all of us first. Or did he do that while I was on my phone?
Yes.
All right, hold on. I think I know how to do it. Hold on. I'm learning. I'm getting learned.
It's your show. You should know.
I'm getting learned. All right, here we go.
All right.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh,
Bam.
Oh.
That's Chrome.
Chrome
Yeah.
with graphics.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me jump to the next one.
Nice license plate.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
That's them. That's them together.
That looks like Tron.
It
Yeah,
does,
right?
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty sweet at night. Both of them.
Right?
So it's
I've
a little,
never seen that movie.
little too disco for
You
me.
never watched that? Oh my gosh, we watched it in the community building.
Well, he's real. He's a real flashy type of dude. He's 50 Cent's lawyer.
Oh,
Oh,
get
wow.
out of here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Louis, I was trying to share this, but I don't see where I can share the show tonight.
Where are you at on it?
I was just on your personal page.
Are we live on the personal page? Hold on.
It's not showing live on your personal page?
Oh, you know what? It didn't connect for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
You
why
can
we
go-
only got 3 watching.
yeah, you can go to YouTube and
Oh, okay. Grab the link there.
yeah.
All right, I'll do that real quick.
Yeah. So did they come out with a new season yet for Faster?
On
we haven't
Netflix,
looked.
I haven't seen a new one yet, but there's a couple of them on there.
All right. I met the guy in a wheelchair at SEMA last year.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I need to get him on, and the guy that had the minivan too,
Okay.
the Odyssey.
He was at SEMA also.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
so
up, Joey?
I can't wait for SEMA.
dude? People are talking about it like it's going to be like a rock concert.
I think so. I think it's going to be epic. Well, if you take like our car show last year was almost double what it was the year before. Just people
Wow.
needed to do things like
It
they
was insane.
It wasn't. We were we were in theory prepared for the amount of people, but we were not prepared for the amount of people.
Right.
About 11 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I'm out. I'm not even going to try to do anything. The car show's running itself. Everybody's having a blast, and I just started walking around talking to people.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I'm a parking Nazi
Yeah.
because we take up like it's 6 blocks on the street, and the city lets us close down the street. So cars have to park pretty good,
Tight.
so that the next car can get by, and then so on and so forth. Well, one year we had people park just all screwy. So this year he was like the enforcer.
Yeah, but most of the time across the car show, I'll hear them talking to her, and I'll hear them say, well, Arco said I could park over, and then I hear her say, I don't give a crap who says you can park over there. You're parking over there. And I'm just like,
Let's keep on walking.
duck out behind a car
I've got
somewhere.
this adorable little friend who her name's Brittany, but she's a tow truck driver.
She's a
And
hottie.
she knows everybody. And so I was like, you tell them to park like human beings, please. Don't park like animals.
And I don't know why it is, but when you have a car show and you tell them, go down to the next car, and you're going to turn your car so that you have room for people to walk or drive in front of you and people to walk and drive behind you. And I'll start watching them go down there and park, and one guy parks all the way to the curb, the next guy parks all the way to the curb, and I'm like, how hard was it People and cars walk in front of you and behind you. So then I got to go down there and start yelling at them, back your damn car up, pull your car forward, do this, do that. And then it's like, and nobody's giving me attitude though. I mean, because if not, I tell them, go to the, get your car out of here,
But Seattle sounds like it's going to be nuts. Like everybody's so excited to be there again.
Yeah.
And they got that new building too.
I just don't know how big it's going to be without having Canada and other countries and stuff there,
But maybe by then they can come.
Well, by then I think everybody will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got the new building built too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. It's
I
big.
I saw that one online that I was looking at. I didn't know that's what that was. So
They just opened that building up last week.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. It's from the Strip all the way to the convention center. It's pretty big.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's huge.
That is really big. So that would be why the venues look a little different on the map. Because I was talking to our sponsor today, and just we were trying to figure out where their booth was going to be in relation to where our car would be outside. And it was pretty easy to figure out once we figured out where they were, but then it got a little confusing again. We finally decided that we were tired. She's awesome. So as long as we have a spot, we're all good. So we figured it out. But all right, I'm a share our pants here.
Plan and Traffic will be doing a interview session at Truly's booth.
Oh, in the Truler's booth?
Jack? Yeah. So Jack, he's giving me some time there, and we're gonna set up our cameras and we're gonna have a big get together.
Cool.
So I'll be posting the dates that we're gonna be interviewing. I'm gonna have celebrities come and we'll interview them, and then all the Plan and Traffic family needs to come through at the same time.
That
we can
so much fun.
I'll be there.
So we can kick it.
Oh, so our buddy says that he's literally can come over and lend a hand.
What's he say? Arco got turned down for plastic surgery. They haven't advanced enough to help that much ugly. Shut up, Joey.
Nice friends.
You can't pick your friends, but you can pick your family.
Can you block him?
and you can pick your nose.
I don't want to block him. Hey, he's talking about coming down to help me on the bus, man. That's cool. I ain't blocking him.
Oh, I see how it is. Thanks, bro.
I'd come if it wasn't 9 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. It's not too far.
No, because he's in
Ohio too, but I can't remember.
Mill Creek is the.
Yeah, but that's.
He's like an hour from me. He's up north of me.
Yeah, he's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He's a pain in the ass.
Hey, look, we can get together. You don't have to come down and help me, but just come down and kick it.
Yeah.
I don't drink and smoke, but we can drink Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
You don't drink either, bro? You don't drink, Lewis?
No. I have a beer here and there, but my body's too sensitive. I drink 2 beers, man. There's some problems about to happen.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. 3 beers, I'm shooting. 4 beers, I'm naked and shooting. Hey, I can't go to jail in my socks.
6 beers.
Yeah, you fit right in Big Falls, man.
It don't take much, man. I'm a cheap date.
Oh, me too.
That's crazy.
I don't drink at all.
We don't drink very often, and
I don't drink at all.
I don't drink very often.
I haven't drank in 32 years, so
I tied one on Halloween.
Halloween.
That was my 10-year drunk. I once every 10 years I tie one on, and I was making people play like musical chairs for shots, and I'm running making everybody do all kinds of.
Oh, she was wrecked.
It was so much fun. 21 shots of Fireball.
Listen, I can't even smell that stuff, man. I smell it.
You catch a buzz to smell it at all.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I got to take the kids' dose of cough syrup. I can't take. I mean, I'm really sensitive to all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah. I just don't drink because I don't know. I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never like a crazy drunk or anything, but I mean, I got that. I got that complete tiki bar in my backyard there. I got everything, but I'm the kind of guy I'll pull the beer tap, like maybe once a month.
Yeah. Just,
I
About
was
it.
just talking about your margarita machines to my daughter the other night. I said, he doesn't have one, he's got two.
You got two.
margarita machines. That sounds awesome.
Well, it's like
She was
this
thinking
morning.
about switching us from like regular margaritas over to frozen margaritas. I said, well, we need a machine.
Well, you could buy those packs they have. Have you seen them?
No,
yeah,
I
those
haven't.
are kind of neat.
They have margarita packs. They're like, it's like a kind of like a foil pack.
Right.
You
Like
throw
a
them in the
Capri Sun.
freezer, and because of the alcohol content, it only freezes to like, a frozen drink consistency.
Right.
So it's like the next best thing.
Oh, cool.
We used to have those at the bar, and they were pretty popular, actually.
Well, I saw a thing on TV. There's some guy selling, but they're a ridiculous amount of money. It's like slush machines, kind of like the ones that you would see in like 7-Eleven, where it's all stainless steel.
Yeah.
They got it at a truck stop here.
They're loading them up with beer.
Really?
Yeah. And
Whoa.
yeah, they're loading them with beer, so you could actually get a cup like a slushie of a frozen beer.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they showed people when they were showing this on the TV show. They were putting them into ice cream cones.
Oh, geez.
Pull the tab and get a beer in an ice cream cone.
That
I
would
was
be
like, that's crazy. But the guy wants like $37,000 a machine.
Yeah.
Well, they got one at one of the truck stops here where you can get the margaritas.
Yeah, that's like what I have in mind.
Yeah.
Right, the kind it's got like a big plastic hopper with a wheel that spins inside it, and you pull the handle. Yeah, that's what I have. It's from the company that makes the coffee machines, Bun.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. I have one of those in the bar. It's awesome. I love it. I go to the restaurant supply and you buy the mix, the margarita mix or the pina colada mix, and you pour it into the hopper. You add booze, you add some water, and you hit the freeze button. And like 45 minutes later, let's party. It's awesome.
Wow.
Sweet.
How much does that make, John? What's the capacity before?
Each one of my hoppers holds 3 gallons.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So you're not
That's
messing
good.
around. You're not like
Yeah.
we get 3 or 4 drinks.
Yeah.
Gallons.
Yeah.
Big drink.
I couldn't pass the deal up. It was a convenience store was going out of business, and I grabbed it up.
That's pretty
Like
cool.
I said, I need this in my bar.
I love
Hey,
it.
I got a question for the welders here.
Ooh,
Have you guys seen that welder? It's a 3-in-1. It's called Yes Welder.
Yep, we have one.
We just got one sent to us from one of our sponsors.
Really? How do you like it?
I haven't been able to use it yet, but when I took that thing out of the box, I was blown away because I'm not trying to bag on other products, but it's actually nicer than my good welder that I have in the shop. And I'm not
Really?
When you take out something and you just feel the quality and how it's built.
Yeah.
That has that, and everything we've done. Like, he just was it last night loaded a video with their welding helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good. He's been really using
I
the
just
stuff
bought
so
a welding helmet. It came today.
So that lets you TIG, lets you do regular MIG.
And
Yeah. So what is it? TIG,
Yeah.
MIG, and arc.
Yeah.
And then run a 110 or 220.
It's got both.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
110 and 220. Oh, that's a sweet helmet.
That's really
Yeah. This is. I'm having problems watching the puddle when I'm tigging.
Yeah.
Because I'm old and my eyes suck.
hear
And the helmet that I have already, I mean, the last time I welded before I got back into this, I had a helmet that wasn't even electric. We're talking old school.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
with
the flippy.
Yeah, you had to flip it down, and then go for it. So I bought an electric helmet, but I only paid like $60 for it or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it works real well. It's not a problem. It's just that it's the kind of older technology, and the weld puddle's got like that greenish yellow kind of look to it.
Right.
And with me, with not having good eyes anymore, I'm like sometimes I wind up wandering off the line that I'm trying to weld when I'm tigging.
Is that my problem?
So I'm like, I got to do something else. So I started asking some questions online, and then I did a little bit of research. So Miller's got these electric helmets that have what they call clear view or
Yeah.
true view.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
And it's right. The color is not super yellowy green, right? It's almost like you're really looking at the arc.
Yeah. And that's
So,
how the yes welders helmets
uh-huh.
are the same way.
Same
The ones
kind
that
of
they-
deal.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
so this
blown
thing
away
just
'cause when
came today. I was amazed, like look at the headgear.
How much was
Yeah.
that?
Oh wow.
Well, it was like $329. I got
That's not bad.
the helmet. I got the magnifier cheater lens that goes inside it because I wear like reading glasses.
Mhm.
So I got the cheater lens in there for the magnifying, which is phenomenal. They gave me this T-shirt. It's weldersupply.com.
Oh,
And
I'll go get their stuff. Yeah.
a set of MIG welding gloves and 2 extra lenses, a front lens and a back lens, shipped to me it was like $329 for everything.
Oh, good.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
a
awesome.
good deal.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you know what I did is a buddy of mine in Tennessee, Kelly Jones. He got a hold of me one day and he says, "Hey," and he sends me a picture of his helmet. He goes, "You gotta do this and try it." And right at the top of my welding helmet, your headband lights,
Yeah, Nebo lights.
the Nebo lights or
So
whatever.
yes.
I mounted one of those. I took the headband off and I mounted it on my helmet. And now when I flip my helmet down, and it just lights up the whole area where I'm welding. And
Oh, wow.
dude, it's like
You did
epic.
You did a video on it, right?
Yeah, I did a video on that too. Yeah.
I'll go watch that video. That's a good
I have
idea.
time when I'm welding, I can't always see through the helmet.
Yeah, and then so what he did, he told me because a lot of times he's building fender wells and stuff in his truck, so he actually went one step higher than that, and he put one on the top and then one right here on his helmet. So he has 2 lights, one shining down, one shining up. So when you put your helmet down, it kind of like lights that whole area up,
Right.
And man, I'm telling you guys, I don't know why I've never thought of that, but once I did it, I'm like, all my helmets are gonna have lights on them now. So
That's a smart idea.
oh, it is so
Yeah.
And
I'm
then,
really impressed with this thing. I haven't welded with it yet, but the controls are real easy to set up.
and that's got
Yeah.
grind and weld.
Yeah,
also,
it's
too.
got
Yeah.
it's got grind, it's got TIG weld, arc weld, MIG weld.
Sweet.
that's
So you can set for each one plus grind.
Yeah.
And then you've got your delay for how soon the mask goes back to clear after
Yep.
the weld arc is gone. I was like, wow, it's unbelievable. And it actually, it's got all kinds of other things that it does. It literally keeps a time code of how long you are in shielded. So you could sit there. You're actually getting information out of the helmet. It's like, yeah, okay. And I guess what it's good for is like maybe somebody that's like a journeyman that charges by the hour. This thing will keep a record in the helmet of how many minutes or hours you were actually welding.
Give you a printout too, out the side.
No, it doesn't give you a printout. There's no
Tell you the
US.
batteries
There's no
are
USB.
not working while
Well, it
using
could be Bluetooth. Yeah, right.
The
there.
one thing that I really like about the Yes Welder helmet is it has 2 open panels on the sides too that blink close with light. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
So what's the deal with the Yes Welders? Where are they made? Is it a American company?
I was actually looking just now, kind of being rude on my
Isn't
phone.
it the guy from Miller that left?
I don't think they're American, but
What were you saying?
they want to be.
Isn't it a guy from Miller that left and went to them or something?
It might be. I don't know. I need to
Okay.
find some more information, but I'll tell you what, they are built so nice. And then the TIG torch, I was looking at that, and then you know how like usually your TIG pedal's about maybe this big. They sent me the TIG pedal for this welder. It's this big. It's like
That's good.
It's like 8 inches by 5 inches. It's a
It's
big
heavy,
pedal.
I bet, right?
That's
Yeah,
kind of like the.
all
Because I
metal too.
got a Syncrowave 250
Yeah,
from the 80s, from the late 80s.
it's got
So,
that
you know,
big pedal too, doesn't
It's
it?
got that big metal pedal that weighs
Yeah.
about 8 pounds.
I love
and it's-
that though.
Still works.
Yo,
Yeah. I was
So-
actually going to buy. You can't buy that pedal anymore.
yeah.
You can get parts for it, but you can't buy that pedal from anybody. And I was actually going to buy a broken Syncrowave that pedal that had that pedal, just so I have a spare pedal.
Right.
You know.
So when you with the headlight, it doesn't make your helmet dim down from the brightness.
No, not at all. It actually lights up all your work that you're working on, and like I said, when you flip that helmet down, it's like daylight, and
I
it
gotta
helps
try
so
that.
much. And I've never once had that light, because that's what I thought I was going to do too. I thought I was just going to turn my helmet off. I've never once had it shut my helmet.
But I think it goes
down on dim before.
It's not going down; it's going out. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically
So
lighting
the
up
eye on
the
the thing
area.
isn't really picking up the brightness. It's
Right.
shining
Yeah.
down
Because it's
without it
going
picking up.
past.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
all
that
the
makes
new
sense.
helmets have you can adjust that. There's an
Yeah.
adjustment on here,
Yep.
and what you're supposed to do is
There you go.
Perfect. There you go.
turn the helmet on, and like look at something bright, and hit the button until the helmet shields, and then
Yeah.
go back one.
And that's on the sensitivity one, right?
Right, that's on the sensitivity.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have those lights on there and your helmet goes black, you just hit the sensitivity, you make the number lower, and then all of a sudden it'll open up.
Right.
And then when you strike the arc, it's going to be even brighter.
Right.
So that's
That is
awesome.
Cool.
That's got good headgear. That's got nice headgear.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's the single lens,
yeah,
right?
that's the one like what you have right there.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the 3 lens, where it's got the side ones on the side.
and it's got like
Yeah.
this like wraparound shield that it protects.
Oh
everything.
yeah, that's the other thing I was going to mention in the video too, and that's what I like is on your regular helmets you have your shield with a little tiny piece of plastic over it, and then you have on this one it's got the 2 side shields, but the other one has just a single. But this actually has another shield that covers your whole face in front of those. So
Right.
when you're welding, all that spatter goes on that shield and doesn't wreck your lens,
Oh.
Yeah.
because your lens gets all jacked up,
right. This is a replaceable lens on here,
Yep.
Yeah,
and this just
This one-
pops out. You just
this one
grab
has
this
the
corner
whole-
and it flops right out.
right.
Right.
And this one has that whole piece on the outside, so you can change it and
And then you're
And-
not changing your lenses.
yeah, you're not changing
So
your
I
lenses
think
all the
you're
time. You just
gonna-
wipe them down.
I think in the video right
Right.
now you'll see him opening up the one he actually is using on the car frame because he's working on roll.
yeah, there's the lens I'm talking about. That's how big it is. So.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
nice.
But I did just look, and they have a place in Colorado, a place in Kentucky, and a place in California. But the warehouse address is out of, I assume, China, because it's something city something I can't understand.
Yeah.
But
And I'll tell you what, they're really pushing it on social media. It's been popping up all
Yeah.
over the place.
yep, and one of the coolest things is that and I knew the gal I'm talking to is in China because she answers me at 2:00 in the morning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
See how it's got that full lens around everything though, around the
That's-
other lenses.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, it's trick, man.
Yeah.
and so the video of working on the frame, he's actually going through.
Oh yes,
using this.
that has the exact same controls as my other helmet.
So
with the
maybe
3
it is
knobs on
somebody
the
from
bottom.
Miller.
Yeah, it might be somebody from Miller. So check this out. That
No,
helmet,
that does. It has the same controls as the least lower
only
expense
so many
ones.
companies
that I
Right,
make
bought.
right.
it anyway.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
but that
Yeah,
helmet.
it's the same one. Those 3 knobs.
Yep.
So on their website and like on Amazon and stuff, that helmet right there, $69.
Right.
Really?
So I
That's
mean, you can't beat that,
No, not
Yep.
at all.
And we pride ourselves on being people who use stuff that is accessible to just about anybody.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many people they get too big for their britches kind of a thing, and they have to have the most expensive this. Well, it's not attainable for everybody.
Nope.
And-
This is literally the most expensive shield I have ever owned.
It's important, whatever it is, that works, though.
Right.
Yeah.
You
And
only have
that's
2
it.
eyes.
We're brutal though about our reviews,
Mhm.
because there's just some things he won't do mediocre things about, and if he doesn't like it, he straight up says he don't like it.
And that's the thing is like I tell them when they send me stuff, I'm like, if you don't want me to be honest in your reviews and say my honest opinion, do not send me stuff, because if it's a piece of crap, I'm going to tell you it's a piece of crap right on the video,
Yeah.
Or if it's great at the beginning and then you use it for 6 months and it's trash, they're gonna hear
Yeah.
that too.
Here comes the video. So you haven't actually used that welder yet, huh?
No, the welding helmets I have, but the welder itself I have not used it yet. But I will be using it because I actually just got the wire the TIG torch, all the consumables, everything
Yeah.
for it today. So
Yeah, because when you buy the kit, it only comes with the ARC and the MIG. You have to buy the TIG separately, which I'm kind of going to talk to the lady that I talked to and tell her, don't do that. Make a kit. Price
where they
it
can buy everything. Yes.
Right, price it accordingly. But when people get their stuff, that's like opening your stuff on Christmas morning and not having batteries.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and so like if you want to use something to its fullest, they need to make sure that you have everything to use it completely.
But doing it by a kit would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, put it
because
together
then you have
as a
everything
kit.
right there. It says this includes everything that you need to
Yeah.
weld.
And then you like
Yeah, because something like that, it makes it real easy on a website. Here's the welder.
Yeah.
And then they should just have basically 3 kits:
mhm.
TIG
Yeah.
kit, a MIG kit, a stick kit.
Exactly.
And then if it's the
You just
3-in-1
pick the
welder,
options. Because like I would buy something like that, and I would say, okay, I need TIG and MIG. I would never buy the ARC.
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
You know?
And
Because
we're in
who
the,
even uses ARC anymore? You know what I mean?
but if
A
Richard
lot of
brings a dump
guys that
truck
do
Old
in,
school.
construction.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
honestly, I do because I have dump trucks that come into the shop that I repair frames on and stuff, and then like
Yeah.
Aaron brings his
heavy equipment,
heavy
yeah.
equipment in, and I
Trucks
weld on hitches and stuff, and I
It
use my arc
happens.
welders. So
You know, and so that it is a thing that we would use, but a lot of people wouldn't. So yeah, if they had like a drop down thing that says, do you want XYZ or you want the whole shebang, for that particular one, because it does have so
Whose
many
TIG torch do they offer?
theirs.
yeah, it's theirs.
actually.
All their stuff is theirs.
Yeah.
Is it compatible with like the kind of stuff that you see, just out
No,
on the
that's
market
kind of funny.
in terms
We
of
were
like the collets and stuff?
Oh yeah.
We were
Yep.
actually going to look
All
at
that's
all
the
that
same,
stuff.
yeah.
So you did look at it?
Yep, it's
Okay.
all the same
Yeah.
as and actually it's pretty cool because like on their MIG setup, it's really nice. They have the small tips, the big tips, and then they have the small
Shield.
nozzles and the large nozzles to go with it, so you can change out whatever ones you want, and
Right.
everything's compatible with your on your TIG as far as all your consumables. With these
Right.
other ones that you can buy like in L&M or Home Depot or Miller Welding at the
Yeah.
stores.
Right.
Yeah, but we got a lot of consumables. We got
I gotta
the
buy
shield.
I gotta buy a new TIG torch because I run that thing as that 250 air cooled.
Right. Yeah, and that's
And-
this Yes welder is air cooled. It's not water cooled.
Yeah, and the TIG torch that's on there has been on there since this unit we bought when I had the chassis shop. I think I bought this one in 1992. So, and I bought it specifically as an air cooled.
Wow.
So the torch that's on it is an air cooled torch from the same year as the welder. and like when you look at the stuff inside, like the copper that the collet screws into, it's dark colored because the torch has been overheated a couple of times.
Yeah.
This
Oh.
particular torch is rated at like I think it's like 160 amps, and it's seen 200 a couple of times, and the torch handle gets hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I probably should be changing it. I don't know how long a torch handle lasts, but to have something from the early 90s and I'm still using
That's
it,
pretty epic.
that
quality.
says something for Miller,
Probably
but
made
I'm
in
sure
Japan.
Yeah.
I'm sure I should be changing the torch by now.
Well, we got to talk to Dwayne.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
man.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, Louis,
I got to get on his good side. Have him send me something.
Yeah.
when we get off the show, do you want that stuff now, or do you want me to wait till we get off the show to send that stuff to you?
Oh yeah. When we get off, that's cool.
Okay, cool.
If you can, I don't want to.
No, it's no problem. That's you're talking about for the Yes welder and the helmets and all
Yeah.
that stuff too.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Absolutely. No problem. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm impressed, and I haven't got to use them, but apparently my head flip thing is going to be just great. Because
Cool.
Where is your shop?
It's in Big Falls, Minnesota. Who are you, by the way?
I'm Scott.
talk to him for an hour.
I'm a car audio guy.
What's that?
I'm a car audio guy. I do remote starters and car
Okay.
audio and stuff.
You want to come to Big Falls and do
He's
like?
hiding in the dark.
Too far away from me. I'm out to Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very cool.
What's your name though?
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Awesome. This is Heidi. I'm Marco. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
pretty sure.
Hey, what day are you guys taking off for Vegas?
I don't know what the itinerary actually says. We'll probably leave here a couple days before, give us time to get to Lincoln.
Because I would love to come your way and caravan. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, absolutely! Like that would be more fun than anything.
Unless I'm still putting the car together, and then
You can be my-
then you don't even want to be in the same shop.
I'll just meet you. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because that would be so much fun. And like, we need a road crew. You can be a road crew.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right, you never know.
I'm probably going to leave. Let's see. I'm looking at the calendar now. What day is SEMA start? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right.
So
Rolling in on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
now, do you guys drive all the way through, or do you stop, or?
I don't know who's in charge of the itinerary, but we kind of do what we want.
I'll tell you exactly what she said. We will do whatever the bleep we want to do. We don't run with nobody.
I'm going to tell you that if I need an energy drink or I need sunflower seeds or I gotta pee, we are stopping. End of story.
See, the last time I drove out, I drove straight through 32 hours.
Wow.
Oh, hell
yeah,
no.
I know that they have a few scheduled stops and photo ops and stuff like that. But yeah, I like to stop and I like to look around for a minute and walk around and that type of thing. And that's kind of the spirit of the drive off. I think it's going to be pretty epic. Bringing all these cars together into SEMA as a group. It's going to be pretty cool.
But I think that's where when you do get everybody together and you start rolling down the road, you're not going to want to get out of the car. It's going to be such a blast. You know, 3 or 4 hours will go by quick.
Yeah. So kind of keep me abreast because me and the wife are going to drive out, and then I'm on vacation the week after, so we're going to camp on the way back.
Hey,
hell yeah, that'll be a blast,
that'll be
man.
So fun. Yeah, that's kind of what we'd like to do, but we'll have Rogue with us, so it'll be like.
Yeah, but I want it in an enclosed trailer, so.
Okay, we can go wherever we want.
Yeah, we can go wherever we want. So.
Right.
This time we won't miss the Billy the Kid Town or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, no kidding. So Joey Collins right here, Mill Creek Fab Shop. Joey was just saying Hardcore Fab channel is building a rat rod for the show. 2, he is in Kansas.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was in Kansas. I don't know why I was thinking he was like in Oregon or something, but
he won't be in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Just make sure he's not wearing red shoes.
Yeah, right.
Did you know that Judy Garland was born in the town in Grand Rapids? It's 85 miles from here.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah. But yes, so it'll be fun. The drive up will be really cool. And he's one of the that Hardcore Fab is one of the 2021 builders, and we're still in the 2020 crew with like Sean Puz and like Mustache Mike and like the whole crew. Paul. I mean, you guys have probably seen Paul make cameos on our when we went down to work on the drag car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love Paul.
Guy's hilarious.
Epic, dude. I mean, there's this, and then BJ and Cody from Acme Gas and Oil. They have they're building a Galaxy wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's on the road already. Yeah, and it's all diesel swapped. It's low.
How's your project coming out? Is it you getting there?
I'm getting my frame all finished up right now, getting ready to sandblast the frame and then put all the airbags and stuff on. I'll have the frame in primer, and then I'm going to put the body on the car body on the frame, and then I want to mount up the radiator and gas tank. Once those 2 things get mounted, the body comes off, it goes over to the body shop to get painted.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just downhill from there. I'm not going to say it's easy, but everything is not hard like the other stuff was,
Yeah.
Until it's the week before SEMA.
Yeah.
Right. We're still having the fight about how the doors are going to be.
Yeah, we're still duking that out for a little bit, trying to figure out the shape of the doors on the top, because the top of the doors are squared off right now, and I want them to round up into the windows somehow and do whatever. And she wants it to go this way and that way, and I don't know.
I want thinner doors.
I'm about ready to just take a hacksaw and cut the whole damn top off the car because of her.
That'll fix it.
I don't need a top. So yeah, but other than that, we just got to square up some of the things on the body and get it ready to go.
Good. I'm excited, man. That's a nice looking car.
You know,
Thank you.
we're still struggling with headlights a little bit. Though.
Yeah, I mean, I can't figure out nothing with the damn headlights. What we want to do with those? So.
I want to put the new Blazers, like the 21 or 2020 and 2021
cool with those. I think
Blazers.
those are neat.
They're like really tiny.
All right.
Yeah, and I think they would flow real nice with the front fenders. Like kind of even wrap it around and then do the blinker on the outside.
And then she was even saying, we were looking at the way they round like this. I was like looking at them, and she was like, we could even stand them up in the fenders where they're coming up this way, where they wrap on that top part of the fender. I'm like, that'd be cool too. I don't care.
I don't know. I'm just
as long as it's something different than everybody else's crap. I'm happy. You know.
But spitballing, I don't really know that those lights would function very well because I'm sure they come out.
The beam,
like
the beam direction, the beam path.
Right, yeah, and it would be like this if they're up and down.
Right.
But I think they're at the right angle that they would fit around if we started in the middle. Sorry, this is how we do this.
Yeah, but does it really matter? As long as it fits the body,
right,
and it works, it's not like you're going to be driving this thing forever.
And that's the thing is when I cut the fenders, where the lights fit into it, it's got to have a cavity anyways. So as long as the headlights are, where they, then the night that I hook up the headlights and I want to adjust them, if I got an adjuster in there, I can get them adjusted. Put the garage door down and adjust it where I want them in traffic.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll I don't think that's going to be a big deal as long as that light shape fits that fender. I'd be tickled with that.
That's how I would look at it, because a car like that, it's more about the design.
Yeah.
And I had thought about
and the fabrication that goes into it and the mechanicals, but it's really not about the streetability.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, it's like
you look at a lot of the stuff that's at SEMA and all of these other, like the Roadster shows and the Autorama. It's about the style. It's about the fabrication. It's about what they've done to come up with this particular vehicle. It's not about I can get in this thing and drive it 50,000 miles. That doesn't come to play.
Right. So see on those how those lights,
they're so thin.
They're nice and thin, and they come back around
already
the fender.
coming around.
Yeah.
And if we were to start from the middle and go out, I think we could incorporate a blinker on there too without having to really worry. I'm just gonna vomit when he cuts into those fenders, because they are so beautiful. I had also thought about putting it at the bottom. He's like, "You can't do that."
Well, you have to have them. Headlights have to be high enough by law where they don't bust you.
You just
for
heard
having...
him. Drivability.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're way down at the bottom, they're gonna just look like fog lights.
Well, look at like the Nissan Juke. It's wicked low.
Yeah, that's true. They're so low.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a nice looking light.
When we saw one the other day, my friend had one, and they were.
What kind of car is this going to be on again?
It's a hand-built car. Do you have any pictures of that, Lewis?
I can get it. Hold on.
How come they just got so low?
Who, us?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, your volume's like way down.
You almost can't hear you anymore.
I don't know. You can't hear us?
What the heck?
Barely.
Well, that's weird.
Oh.
Maybe
Yeah, we didn't touch anything.
Did you stop yelling?
Nope.
Lewis, what'd you do?
Wasn't me.
Oh, I brought my mic down because I keep getting the feedback.
Hold on, I'll get you up.
For trouble with our sound. Let me see if this is. Nope.
Here, I got you. Hold on. Say something.
Okay.
Hello.
Is it
Still
up for
low.
you guys?
Nah, still low.
Damn it.
What
Just
the
whack
heck?
it with a hammer.
Right? I'm wondering if I can click on.
When in doubt, reboot.
Let me see right here. I'll change our microphone. Hopefully we don't blast your guys' ears out. Is that better?
Hello.
Just scream.
No change.
No change. What the heck?
Yeah.
Just
A little
scream.
above a whisper.
So, Lewis, you looking to buy a welder to use on the bus?
Yeah.
I need one.
I just can't afford the big dogs. I'd like to get one, man, but
How's that?
Any better?
Much better.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a Lincoln 140 amp. I want, and that thing works perfect for everything I need it for.
yeah.
So that's like I have that Eastwood 135 MiG. Oh my god, I love that thing, man.
I got an Eastwood 200.
Yeah, they're good welders, aren't they?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I love them.
And
I had to
makes it.
do
Someone
on
makes it for
the
them.
last car that I was doing. I had to do a lot of MIG welding, and I only got the TIG. And I went and took a look at a new Miller, the compact MIG welder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not spending $3,000 on a welder, not on a MIG. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I looked around and I did all kinds of research, and I pulled the trigger on this Eastwood. It was $700.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot and see what's going on. I got to tell you, I am so impressed with this MIG welder. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and to be honest, my Eastwood 135, I literally have used it for 6 years straight.
Yeah.
Without one problem at all.
Yep.
Nothing.
Right.
Haven't
I've
done
had
a
zero.
damn thing to it.
I even have their I bought their 200 amp plasma cutter.
Yeah, we have one
We
too.
have the same one, yeah.
And
They're
I'm still
badass.
using the same tip, the same cutting tip that it came with. Going on 4 years of cutting steel and going through, how like on GM cars, well, all of them, it's like galvanized. And you know how that stuff gets, it's horrible to cut.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, I can't believe it. Every now and then I just take a stainless steel wire brush and I just brush off the tip.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's pretty
I don't know,
crazy.
man. For stuff that comes out of China, it's pretty amazing.
We probably wouldn't have had to change it, but somebody was using ours and they kind of just drug it across the.
Yeah, they messed the tip up, so we had to change it. So,
but
I keep, there's that little clip that goes on it that keeps the tip off the surface.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Those are
have
nice,
that.
Aren't they?
Yeah,
It came
we
with
have
it.
them. Yeah, I just don't think we use it.
No, it's in my box, but I don't.
But he's disciplined with it.
Man, you got to use that tip.
Right?
Yeah, those are sweet, aren't they?
Yeah. This thing's phenomenal.
Yeah.
When I use it, I should definitely have that because I have no depth perception whatsoever.
There you go.
There she is.
That's super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yep, right out of our brains.
And what's it getting for an engine?
Cheney Performance just built us 622 horse Corvette motor, small block Chevy. So,
Yeah.
So based on a 350 or an LS?
350, yeah. But he's a drag racer, and he kind of got a little carried away with it. So, but I'm like, hey, I want something that's streetable, but at the same time, I want something that when I put my foot in it, that bitch is gonna go.
And see, with us, like all these people are building these crazy engines and all this stuff, and I keep saying, I want to be able to, if something breaks, I want to pull into an O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
Yep.
And get a part and get back on the road. I don't want to ever, go through looking for a part for the next 6 months. I want to be able to have it that day or the next day, if something were to happen. And we're running a 700 R4 transmission built by Bishop's Performance.
And then the frame underneath the car is a 77 Oldsmobile chassis that's all airbagged. So it's
Like
I
a
wanted
G-body?
something that, yep.
Nice.
And I wanted same thing. I wanted something that if I broke something, I can run down to O'Reilly's and pick it up because it's a common frame,
Yeah.
Can't believe you're running sparks against near that car.
Oh, it's in primer. I don't care.
We built it.
But you can see the car is actually up to my belly button. It's 46 inches tall when it's sitting down on the ground like that, on the airbags.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's wild.
And we've built it in the rat rod style. So we have the windshield's a 48 Studebaker. Do you see the grill shell? That's a tops the two Chevy truck doors. The back window's out of a 40.
Yeah, the 48 Ford pickup that was
48
cut
Ford
down.
pickup, and
It was like
big.
three
Like
feet
this
long
big.
back window, and it was like maybe a foot and a half tall. And I cut it all the way down to like 4 inches or whatever it is, and 9 inches or something
It's
like that.
worthless, but it's a back window. It looks cool.
Is that
It's a
engine
back
that's
window,
in
and
the,
that's about it. What's that?
that engine that's in the video? Is that a mock-up or is that a real
Yeah,
one?
that's just a mock-up. Yeah.
I was
Yep.
gonna say you could see right into the top. I'm like, oh, you didn't cover it.
No, yeah, that's a nice little mock-up engine. We got Bishop's borrowed it to us, so. But yeah, it's been awesome. BMW wheels that I got off Facebook Marketplace.
And those are getting. We're gonna actually powder coat the wheels, so they'll be in a different color, so you won't even know what kind of wheels they are when we're done with them.
Yeah, a guy who went to the same high school as I did threw them up on the Facebook Marketplace, the truck wheeler dealers truck site, and I scooped them up and I got 8 for $300. So, like I said, we're building it in the rat rod style. It's what we have.
It's not a rat rod.
It's
but
not a rat rod, but it's built like you would build a rat rod. You take what you have and put it together.
Oh yeah.
And it's out of your brain and what you can, big, borrow, and steal.
And then the hood, the doors, the fenders, and everything is
else
all
is
handmade.
hand-built. Yeah.
4 9-inch.
It's no, we're running the stock. What is it? A 10-bolt Chevy in the rear.
Yeah.
And the only reason I did that is I just want something dependable, something that I could get parts easy and whatever.
We got to drive it 1,500 miles, and it'll be tested probably a few hundred, but that's about it. So we don't want to. We don't want to have anything happen, and then we're sitting because it's some kind of obscure thing.
Thanks, Joey.
Then you should stay on the gas pedal because you want to keep that rear end in the car.
Right.
Careful with the hole shots.
It is a 10-bolt.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that'll be obviously rebuilt. But it's been fun. And my grandma, my favorite story, and the reason I was like, we got to use that Oldsmobile, and he's like, why? And I said, because my grandma had an Oldsmobile Catalina, or it was a Pontiac Catalina. Anyways, and she told her old lady friend who was driving her, she said, Aggie, I got 400 horses under this hood, and I want them all galloping at once. And she was 80 when she said that. And so I knew the frame could handle the power, and then he just beefed it up a little bit more. And they're just bulletproof frames. Like, you can't beat them.
Oh, yeah.
And I took the whole frame. It was all crusty and rusty and whatever. I pulled the car body up and junked it. Or didn't junk it. I saved all the parts. They're all out in the back. But I took the whole frame and I boxed everything in and then plated the whole frame with 1/4-inch solid steel plate. Because you guys know that, when you bag something, if, I'm not going to do like the, lowrider style cars or nothing like that. But I wanted to, no, I'm not bouncing. I want the front to go up, the back to go up, and at the same time come up and down,
Not going dependent. 1/4-inch. 1/4-inch, that's thicker than the frame itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, yeah, because the frames were what, like 1/8 inch on those or something?
Yeah, they're a little over 1/8 inch.
Yeah, maybe 3/16 tops.
Yeah, so I went through and then I actually added rear cross member, middle cross member, front cross member. I went through the whole frame and just building the piss out of the thing. So when I'm done and I have it, whether we powder coat it or paint it or whatever, I'm not gonna have to worry about nothing cracking, breaking, stress fractures, nothing,
Well, the good thing too is it's a full perimeter frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which for doing this kind of stuff that you guys do, and sort of like in the street rod vein, you can literally just take the body off the chassis.
Yep, and that's what we like to do.
You could, like all of the TV shows, you got the frame, they put the engine, the transmission, the rear end, they do the exhaust system, they do everything, and then they put the body on.
And I actually, all my cars that I build, that's how I do them. I make it where you can, the wiring harness is a quick disconnect on the whole damn harness, the steering column, the fuel lines, and the thing is off the car, you know?
It works really good. We've done it. We can lift our Roadster, the body probably weighs about 300 pounds because the two of us can take it off on our own.
Did you run the fuel and brake lines through the bottom of the chassis or the outside?
No, I'm going to run them on the outside so that, on the inside of the frame, but on the outside. And the only reason I'm doing that is I don't like stuff going through grommets and whatever. And any chance for something rubbing, wires getting rubbed through and shorting out, or fuel lines, rubbing and having a bursted line, then you got you got fire problems on your exhaust or whatever, because everything in that frame is going to be so tight with the exhaust and everything. I want it to be bulletproof. So, even like my fuel lines and stuff, I'm going to run that through real thick lines so that it's, and maybe do one line from the gas tank all the way up, to the intake. And I'll probably hand make all that line out of some real nice tubing.
I just thought of it the other way, like you were saying about going to O'Reilly's if you needed a part. Now, if you had a problem with a line, it's accessible. It's not behind a 1/4-inch thick piece.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's another reason we're doing that is I want everything to be super simple to work on if I need to work on it.
And we tend to use like that. What is the nickel?
It's a copper nickel line. I love that
stuff. Copper nickel. Yeah.
Benzene doesn't rust.
Yep,
Yeah.
and you can bend it with your hands and make wherever you need to go. That's
And I think
there
what
you
I'll,
got a roll right there. I
Yeah.
love
You can
this
polish
stuff.
it with muggins.
You know he
shines
had it
nice
right there.
Mothers.
yeah, he's got everything right there in front of him.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
Ray
great
has
stuff.
everything in his desk.
Oh, like that's what we run. He has some sort of garden hose size on our Roadster. I don't know. He just takes and dumps all the fuel in the engine.
Well, that thing
Yeah.
sucks so much fuel as it is.
Yeah,
that thing
it weighs
screams.
1,200 pounds or 1,300 pounds or some shit and thing. It freaking gets 13 miles to the gallon.
Hey Ray, you got a $1 million scratch ticket there on your desk too?
Actually, my daughter gave me a couple of tickets for Father's Day, man. I won like $150 on these tickets. I was like, yeah, they were like $10 tickets. Like that, it was cool.
That's
There you go.
I gotta
awesome.
cash you in. I'm trying
Heck
to decide.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to buy more. Now I'm gonna get into this stuff. I never really did.
You're gonna be a Gamblers Anonymous
It's like
here.
so easy to win. It was like, damn, this was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm a bad gambler. I want a cooler. I got a phone call today. I want a cooler. I don't win things. I'm not
I
one of those
win
people.
stuff. I'm the worst guy with even through Rock Auto, I got gift cards. I had like $200 in gift cards. I don't use them, and then they time out and they're just gone.
Right.
That's it.
I'm the worst guy to have a gift card in the world. I won like tattoo certificates, all sorts of. No, they expired because I just forget about them. Like, I need cash. Give me something in my hand.
Yeah.
hand me the prize, and I'm okay.
Yep. I'm kind of. I guess
I got a whole bunch of gift certificates for the car, and I'll go order something, and I completely forget I have them.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
every time.
And then
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife's like, I just gave you that $250 gift certificate. Why didn't you use it?
Well, that's what happened. And I'll try to use a gift card on a site, and it won't take it. So
Right.
give them to me. I'll go food shopping with them, and I'll give you the money. I'm like, all right, here, take them. Just take them.
Brian,
Yeah, I forget. Hi there.
Hello.
Still hanging out in the
Yeah.
kitchen, huh?
at the kitchen table again.
Just got home, so he's gearing up.
Nice.
Well, hey guys, I gotta jump off.
All right,
I
well,
think we need to do the same thing.
Yeah, our dogs have barked. We probably have had half the town over here to say
Yeah.
hi tonight. So
Yeah.
We're gonna
Hey,
get
Arco.
too. Thanks, you guys.
Arco, hit me up tomorrow with the info.
Okay, I'll probably do that tonight, brother.
Okay, yeah, just send it. Or text me. That'd be good.
Okay.
great. Well, it was awesome hanging out with you guys tonight.
Nice to meet you,
Yeah,
bro.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
Nice that our schedules have calmed down enough that we can come hang out again.
Yeah, good. We were missing you. That's why I hit you up.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Appreciate it, guys.
Cool. Take care.
All right,
Hey, Lou.
See you next time.
all right, guys.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you tomorrow, next week.
Louis,
Oh,
Bye.
Louis, we got
Hey.
Dan.
Bye.
We got
yeah,
Dan
we
next
got.
week?
Yes, Dan will be on next week.
Really?
Yep, I'll be doing the promo stuff, and I'll probably get it out over the weekend.
Which Dan is that, Lou?
Short.
Oh shit! Just had him on the show on
Phantom
Sunday.
Works.
Oh, did you?
Good, yeah. Just had him on last Sunday. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sounds good, guys. I'll see you next week.
All right.
All right,
Louis.
take care.
Oh,
All
Dave.
right, take care, Lewis.
All right, later.
So Ray,
Yes, sir.
did you guys get like tornado warnings or anything yesterday earlier? We had them last night.
I was
just had-
watching I was watching TV tonight, and it's a station out of Jersey, and they came up with the warning and all the tones and stuff. And I don't think it was for tornadoes; it was just for just weather. We had some hellacious rain with some thunder that was like
Oh my God.
serious.
We've
Yeah.
had that every day for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My father calls me last night from Florida, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna have tornadoes tomorrow." I'm like, wait, you watching our weather up here or something? It's like,
Well,
Yeah.
that's a big thing in Florida. They like to show you the whole map.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's like so Floridians can laugh at the rest of the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the girls haven't
We
been
got-
too happy.
We got a guy. I have to find some photos. My local ABC affiliate, the weather guy, his name is Dennis. I think he's Peter North hiding out.
Really?
Yeah.
No fooling. Come on.
I swear to
Get
God.
out of here.
I just happened to notice that like 2 nights ago. I'm like looking at him. I'm like, I think that's Peter North.
Ah, Can you
So I
imagine? He's
gotta,
gonna drop the weatherman now.
I gotta try and get some like AB photos. You know,
Who's Peter North?
Yeah.
he's a porn star from way back when.
Oh,
Wow,
Unbelievable.
that would be amazing.
Hey guys, time for me to build too.
take care of
All
yourself.
right.
Alrighty.
Take it easy, guys.
Stay out of the
See
hot
ya.
sun.
Oh yes, Brian's making coffee for us. Look at that.
Look
Nice.
at him, huh?
I'll have one.
I could use a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know what? I got that Keurig in there. Maybe I'll turn that thing on because I got the pot's loaded for tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like running a whole pot. You know.
So
I
John,
fuck my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
is the engine all set for that car?
It's right here next to me.
Yeah.
It's
And the transmission is all ready to go?
no, the transmission. I don't know about that. It's a turbo 400, but it doesn't look to me. It doesn't look like anybody's even dropped a pan out of it. I'm taking it to my tranny guy probably in a month or two, and he'll go through it. And I need to get a converter because the converter that came with it is impossible. I don't know what this guy was thinking. It's got an 8-inch converter.
Oh geez.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what,
And-
probably
Maybe it's released
And
500
I
or
ran an 8-inch converter in the other car, you know, and the thing was like slip. And this motor supposedly is just a nicely rebuilt 454. So why is he running a turbo 400 with an 8-inch converter? You know, so I
Hey,
don't
Brian,
know.
what's
I'm
going on?
probably going to take this motor
Crazy.
apart
It's been crazy.
just to see what's going on.
We were
'Cause I
waiting
took
for
the
you all
valve covers
night.
off. It's got stamped steel stock rockers.
Huh.
You know. So
All right.
I'll send this out. I'll send the transmission out and get a whole package put back together again. That'd be the
What
end
are
of
you
that.
what are you running for gears in that thing? Are you not sure yet?
Oh, I'm only gonna run like a maybe a
513.
no, like a
Come on.
like a 373 or
Oh
a,
jeez.
So
Or
you're
a
not racing this.
390?
You're building a nice street car.
yeah, it's a street car. I'm still kind of on the edge of the fence about maybe putting an overdrive automatic in it,
I would do that.
you know. But I need an overdrive automatic that's non-electronic.
You can convert them.
They make them. I wired up one for somebody.
They even sell conversion boxes
Yeah.
that just go in line. So so you could use a mechanical speedometer and whatnot. You don't have to use the.
Well, I'm running I'm going to be running a GPS speedo
Okay.
from Autometer, so I don't have to mess around with
No, you don't need any
that
of it.
little gear
Right.
and try and get that calibrated. I don't have to run a cable.
Right.
Minimalize because it's a pro street car. I'm minimizing stuff, so I'll run a GPS speedo, so I don't have to worry about that. But I would like. I don't know. I'm not a tranny guy. What overdrive transmission does GM have?
For
Bolt
80E.
bolt
Yeah,
to the
use like
back
the
of
4L
a old
series.
school.
No, the
You know, an
4L
old
series,
school
like
big
the
For
boat.
80E.
yeah, that's the most.
Yeah.
That's the popular one. Yeah,
And how does that control the overdrive?
it's a 4-speed automatic. It's an
Oh, it's
overdrive-
just okay. So in the valve body, it knows to just go from 3
Right.
to 4.
OD.
Four's ratio is an OD.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 is 1 to 1, right?
Yeah,
And
I don't
Yeah,
want to have any kind of, computerized controlling because the ignition system on this is going to be real simple. I'm going to go to, remember, Ray, we were talking about that MSD distributor that came with the 632,
Right.
that
Yeah.
it was completely it's basically an HEI, but it's the small size.
Yeah.
And all you do is add a coil.
Right.
And with that, then I can go back to, doing a nostalgia deal. I can mount one of those big yellow Excel
Excel
super
coil.
coils. Right.
Right.
So that's what I need.
Yeah.
And there's the only electronics is the electronics that's in the distributor.
Right.
That's it. It's carbureted. I may down the road go with a Holly sniper, but
Right.
as of now, it's probably going to be like a 750 double pumper.
Yeah.
Some of those sniper kits, I think, can run a 4L60 or 4L80E transmission.
Yeah, well, the sniper can control a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it can control your fans. It can control a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But if you get a standalone trainee controller, all you need is speed sense and a TPS
okay.
to have it fully, electronic. Unless you really want a manual, it's just a pain. You always have to shift it.
That's why I want something that I don't have to have electronics, though.
Yeah.
Electronic, it does it for you. It's fast and quick and
Yeah.
responsive, and
All right.
you get your overdrive. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I do the overdrive, then I'll probably put like a 410 gear, 411.
yeah, you'd be able. I got 411s for my S10 with the overdrive of 700.
'Cause I got
it's mint.
These tires are big, man. They're 33.5 inches tall. Yeah.
That's going to help a little. I mean, that's what I should have done in my car. I should have run something lower than a 373. Now, in retrospect, I see that, but whatever.
Well, when I had the black car, I was a maniac. I ran tires the exact same size tire as this, and still used to run like a 538 gear.
Yeah.
The car was like dead at 50 miles an hour.
Right.
Cruising around.
Sure.
At the track, it was awesome because with the turbo 400 and all of that first gear, the car used to launch. I mean, I was going, Jesus, like 118 60 foots at almost 3,400 pounds.
Well, that's the other thing with
the car was all gear.
Like with the 4L80, the first is the gears get even lower.
Yeah.
Those first gears are nice and low. So I mean, it's like you'll take off. It'll be whoop bang second gear. It'd be like running a close ratio 21 or a 22.
Yeah.
You take off and boom, you pull in second gear immediately.
So that might be the way to go because it's like I said, I could get rid of the turbo 400 that I have, or I could just keep it as a spare unit.
I can't talk about top loaders, Brian.
Else.
I don't know how they run. I never ran one.
My dream was to put a top loader back in this car.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to hit me in the head with a hammer.
I was waiting to see Terry because I wanted to drop on him what Dan Short said on the show on Sunday about Coyote engines.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get to hear it.
He said, he will never put another Coyote. He'll do an LS any day of the week. He'll never do another Coyote because it's just too big of a motor, too much motor, and the aftermarket isn't there. The parts aren't there.
Yeah.
The LS is dropping everything.
Well, supposedly there was a Ford division, something with Ford division, that if you contact them and tell them that you're putting a Coyote motor, whatever it is, a Volvo, any kind of vehicle, they will engineer or they will come up with what you need to do it.
Wow. Well, like Dan said, he says, once you cut enough metal away, it'll fit.
Yeah. But they were talking about having, because that was it was one of these things on Saturday morning, like when they went to not SEMA, but whatever, RPI or whatever, they had that, and they had those Ford guys there, and they were like, "We're here. All you gotta do is tell us what you're doing, and we'll make the stuff for you."
Right.
And the support. And I gotta say it's true because, of course, this was quite a long time ago, but I had found a 9-inch for my Mustang, and in the 65 and 66. The only 9-inch to fit in that was out of a 59 station wagon.
Wow.
That was the same width, as the car, where you didn't have to cut or anything. And then until the Lincoln, what was that baby Lincoln? The Versailles,
yeah.
Versailles.
Yeah.
That was an 8.8 though.
No, that was a 9-inch.
Was it?
Really?
With disc brakes.
Oh.
Yeah, because a friend of mine put one of those in his Capri race car. I could swear he said it was an 8.8.
No, it's a 9-inch because I got one. I mean, that's what I ended up doing. I put, because they had it also in the Granada. If you had the Granada with the Lincoln package that had the opera window and everything and the 4-wheel disc, that came with that rear.
Wow.
But the problem was that you had the shock plates and for the leaf springs were different because you had to use those for a 59 station wagon, Ford station wagon, and I couldn't find them, so I called them up, told the guy what I was doing. He said no problem. Send him a check for $32.95. 3 weeks later, I got these plates.
Wow.
So I mean, you know.
Well, the question is, do you know where they are now?
Yeah, they're in the car.
Oh, they're in the car. Okay, good.
That's
But
good.
you know, it was crazy. I mean, because like I said, because I was originally going to take and cut a 9-inch down, you know, because everybody was pulling them out of the, you know, a truck, and then you cut everything down.
Sure.
But I think that's with the offset, you know, with the so you didn't have to, because like with the 8.8, you have to get you got to get two left axles to replace the right one because the carrier's sitting offset.
Yeah.
So what's up with your truck? Anything? You told either truck.
Yeah, either
John,
one.
You want to talk about having a bad week?
Man,
Guy, right?
I tell you, it's been a tough week. So the tool truck is supposedly fixed.
Oh, cool.
Where did it go to get fixed?
There was this down in Gaithersburg or this truck shop. A couple of the other guys in my district said they've taken their truck there. And it was kind of funny because I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I called this guy up, never met him, don't even know where his shop is, you know? And I'm like, hey, Alex, you know, Artie told me to call you. He goes, oh, yeah, Artie told me. He goes, just leave the keys in the truck and I'll send a tow truck. You know, it's like,
wow,
okay. Where's your shop at? You know, what's going on? Who's coming to get it?
My truck going there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's.
Now your truck is predominantly filled with tools still.
Oh yeah.
Did you trade off the repairs for the
I mean,
tools?
that alone is a a sensitive balance.
Yeah.
Yes, right. There's $1 million worth of stock.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little. One of the reasons why I was so late tonight because I couldn't get there before they closed because he called me and said that it was all done, but I drove all the way out to check on it, and I'm thinking about going back out again. I've never left that truck. I mean, I've never had a truck sit any place.
Right.
Where is it? I will drive down right now.
So
It might take you about 20 hours to get there.
What was the prognosis?
Well, it was kind of funny, and as a guy that used to work on cars, I know exactly because I was, because he asked me, he goes, well, what have you done or what are you doing? Of course, you go through, I try to help him like, well, I've done this and did this. And, I looked for codes and can't find any. And it's in this limp mode. It's, it's locked up. And and of course, the whole time he's going, yeah. Well, of course, the truck gets there and he gets in, plugs his computer and calls him and goes, hey, there's no codes. And I was like, yeah, remember I told you?
Right.
And he's like, well, what do you want me to do?
Fix it.
Fix it.
I said, well, I was told that it needs to be reflashed. That's what the dealer told me. And the dealer gave me this outrageous price. Basically telling me it was an open check.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, I said the only code in there was this P7040 or 4070. And he's like, yeah, that's still there. And I said, yeah, well, I can't get rid of it. And I think that has something to do about it being in limp mode. You can't erase it. But I can't do anything else. I can't get it. I can't force regen. I can't do anything. And he goes, all right, well, I'll call you back. So about 3 hours later, he called me back and said that he got it running and it drives down the road what did I want to do next?
Background.
I said, well, what do I need to do next? And he just said, well, we really should pull the filter off. And I said, look, dude, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I don't have endless amount of money to put into this. If it's up and running, I'm going to come get it.
Yeah.
And I know that one of the biggest problems is my idle time. It really tears those DEF filters up.
Yeah. Well,
And-
Why don't you
tool
shut it
truck
down?
is- tool trucks idle quite a lot. I mean,
Well, the problem is by the end of the day, I had to jump start it because all the electronics in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving literally from if you go out to the end of your driveway, the next shop is the next driveway
right.
that I'm driving,
geez.
and that's all day. So
Yeah.
it never. And then plus, especially now with the AC running, that poor alternator's singing the blues.
Sure.
So
All right. So now tell everybody why, with your other truck, why you're going to buy an FJ.
I haven't bought an FJ yet, but
fine.
Saturday was a Saturday going to the bank. The
That's the F3.
EGR cooler took a dump, and I was dumping coolant through the intake on the old 6.0, and it took me like 4.5 gallons.
Smell.
It took me about 4.5 gallons of water to get back about 1.5 miles to the house without it overheating.
Smell of cash coming out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
So I started taking that apart, and I had a really, really, really bad oil leak coming out of the oil cooler on that. And you got to take the turbo and the intake off, and it's all there. Both of them are down there. So hopefully I get the parts tomorrow. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. And I just want to reseal the top end.
So
And
what were you driving with the truck down? What, like on a bicycle going to the shop?
no, actually, I was driving Brianna's Camry.
Oh my
Or
god!
Toyota. And the funny part is, it's like a powder blue metallic,
Oh great!
and she's got pink seat covers.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
tool
was
man.
pulling up.
Oh, tool man. Stop.
Yeah. So I was pulling up into the shop, and of course, a couple of the shops, we had heavy downpours today. I mean, it was just rain. So some of the shops I actually like pulled up into, and of course, she's got the tenant windows, so everybody's got this look like, who's this asshole, And then of course here I do come climbing out,
Right.
and they all start laughing because me climbing out. They like, oh, that's a pretty blue. Oh, look at the seat covers.
All it needs is one of those big fuzzy steering wheel covers.
Right.
It's too bad. It's too bad I don't have the little eyelash things on the over top of the headlights or
right.
whatever.
There you go.
Right.
And Brianna's got like
And you need a set of those truly Nolan ears.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's got she's got like Mickey and Donald. She's got like the Disney like little stickers on the side window,
Oh,
like
good.
a little group of them, And so I was profiling this last couple of days.
Taking some abuse.
Yeah. So I should have taken Molly's Jetta instead, but it's all right.
Oh,
I had to shut my windows. It's pouring in there.
My ratchet is slipping.
And oh, stop, Johnny. So, but I gotta admit, at least, I mean, my collections were a little bit off, but I'm still selling like crazy. So that's all.
That's a good thing.
That's great.
Yeah, I was.
Awesome.
So hopefully, I think I'm going to try to. I got to find somebody to drive me. That's the only other problem because there's nobody here.
Right. You got to get there to get your truck.
I got to get there to get my truck, and
Uber.
yeah. Well, that's Brianna laugh. She goes, "Well, if you want, I'll send an Uber," and I'm like, I don't know,
It's
but
not that bad, actually.
It does fulfill the requirement.
It'll
It
be
gets you there.
funny if the dude shows up and he's driving like a Yugo or something,
Yeah.
or a smart car.
Right.
Cram the fat guy in the back. Or they'll say, "Hey, could you like sit in the center because you're rubbing on one side or the other?" You know, I was always the ballast in the boat. Hey, Brian, you gotta move over. We gotta get the prop. We gotta get the prop out of the water. We're gonna kick it.
Yeah.
Sit in the middle because the boat's leaning.
I know. I had a customer. He used to fly all the time. I mean, this guy, he would like, it would be something like, "Oh, you want a cheesesteak?" And they'll like fly to Philadelphia, to get a cheesesteak.
There you go. Oh my God, I would love to have a Philly cheesesteak.
You want something, you fly to the Eastern Shore. He would just fly.
Yeah.
So one day, Greg had said, "Hey, Brian, you want to go flying?" And I said, "Greg, I said, you would have to like rearrange your whole plane for me to get in." And he's like, "Well, how much you weigh?" I tell him, he goes, "Yeah, you're right. I would have to shift a lot of stuff around."
Well, now if you trust the aviation and car building qualities out of Slovakia, you can get your own car. You see how they had.
Oh yeah.
The only thing is, it looks like a Porsche, like a 917.
Yes.
Yeah.
The old Can-Am, which is cool, but at least it's got a BMW power plant in it, so they didn't go try to build an engine.
Yeah.
I guess they figured if they're going to fly with it, they better be reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have
They're
to
not
run a
known
lot
for
of
either of those
flap on
technologies.
your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta be.
Keep the thing level.
I was like, it's okay. I'll stay on the ground. It's all right. So.
Did you see the video of that guy that just recently crashed the P-51 Mustang?
No.
It's beautiful, beautifully restored P-51.
Can't afford to crash a plane like that. Jeez.
Guy took off out of L.A. and then landing gear wouldn't come back out. He had to put it in on its belly.
Oh, he landed it. Yeah.
Yeah, what a shame. And they actually recorded it. Believe it or not, there's, I don't know, some guy that has a helicopter and he makes videos in the helicopter. It's got like a YouTube series. Yeah.
Out of LA. Yeah.
Right. That's the guy.
Yeah.
And I saw the video today and I guess he was listening to the radio and heard the call.
Right.
And took that chopper over there and got video of that P-51 coming in on its belly.
Yeah, he's a young guy. And he's got a new helicopter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow. So that's hydraulic gear, I guess, on a 51. Is it?
I guess.
Or is it mechanical?
I don't know, maybe cable.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm guessing obviously he found a field somewhere. He didn't land on a freeway.
No, he came down at the airport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came back to the airport. He flew in. I think he did a flyover, but he came.
Right.
The video I saw, he took off and then he came back, and he put it down gently.
Yeah.
As gently as he could on the runway, and I guess
it
just slid.
Yeah, I was going to say the good thing is with a prop plane like that, you can fly it pretty slow. In aviation terms, it's not like a jet. You don't have to be doing 150.
Yeah.
You can be pretty slow. But yeah, either way, you don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, it looked like I didn't notice if the prop hit the tarmac.
Yeah,
I think it stayed kind of like
good.
ass
That's
heavy.
usually when the thing goes ass over tea kettle, or good.
So
yeah,
I think it's probably fixable, but the whole bottom end caved in.
Well, yeah, everything's fixable, right?
Today, sure.
And with a plane like that, I'm sure he's insured very well. So
I hope.
Yeah.
Until they find a way of not paying it.
Right.
I saw a thing on Facebook because they're building one literally like 6 or 7 miles from me. It's a series of garage condominiums.
Oh, yeah.
That you purchase, and every one of these, there's one in Detroit. Every one of these that they build has a road course and a
Yeah,
skid pad,
I've heard about those. Yeah.
and you buy the building, which they basically give you a garage in white. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, and I'm looking at it, and it's like every other like frame is, become an owner, become an owner, become an owner. I finally got to the last page, and I'm looking at it, and like 1,000 square foot unit, which it's weird the way they rate them, because it's 1,000 square feet upstairs, downstairs. It's 2 levels.
Yeah.
So it's really 2,000 square feet.
Right.
But it's just an empty box. So, to make the second level, the mezzanine, you got to do all the customizing yourself. They're just giving you the garage for like 1,000 square foot unit. It's like $360,000.
Yeah.
Does it have a bathroom at least?
With the real estate, real estate talking though, that's the reason why it's only 1,000, because the garage is unlivable. It's not, you can't live in it, so it's not counted in your footprint.
Well, this is a whole facility.
Yeah, I know that. You were saying how they labeled it only 1,000 because when we had our house refinanced, or when we had it reappraised, and I've changed the garage, half the garage, more than half the whole garage now is basically my office. And I got the TV, a desk, I've air conditioned, I've put the heat, air conditioning, I've got water, I've got next thing is going in there is going to be a pot, a toilet. But going along the line, the guy says, well, I can't count this as square footage. And I was like, well, yeah, I didn't ask you to. And he goes, well, I'm just letting you know that because it's not livable, it's a garage, so this isn't counted in. And then that's like we were talking about bedrooms, because our house was listed 4 bedrooms, and he kept saying 3. And I said, well, this downstairs is the bedroom. He goes, well, it doesn't have a closet. And I said, yeah, it's over there in the corner. And he goes over, he opens, he goes, oh yeah, okay. So I mean, it is kind of funny, you just can't make it look like something. That's like those places the garage doesn't count.
Yeah, well, like here, when you buy a house here in Florida, the square footage is based on what's air conditioned.
No fooling.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
So they never count the garage. So in other words, the square footage of the house that you're buying is the interior square footage.
Yeah.
So your house is actually larger than what they say it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hey, I'm going to bed, guys.
See ya.
Scott.
All right, Scott, take it easy.
Take care, everyone.
Hey, is that a real guitar on the wall?
No, it's glass mosaic.
Oh, how cool.
Actually, it came from Florida.
Yeah.
I was visiting my father down in Delray Beach. There's what the heck is there's a town over, and they have this like mall, and they had all knickknacks and stuff. And
that's neat.
He got that. Sent it up to me. So it's pretty cool. All right, guys, be good.
All right.
So I was watching these videos. There's all these videos of owners,
Yeah.
and they show you what they've done, and I'm like, well, these guys are all multi-millionaires.
Yeah, there's no sky's the limit.
Yeah. The guy's like, well, I decided I wanted to start a car collection, and we didn't really have any place to put it, so this worked out really well. And then we bought another unit, and then we bought another unit, and the guy's got 4 units.
Yeah, I've seen.
And he's got like 60 cars.
Yeah.
And they all have those lifts.
Right.
So they're stacking them. And then it seems that everybody that builds an upstairs mezzanine, they make that like kind of like living area, full kitchen, bathroom. Some of them have bedrooms, and they all have like sliding glass doors or windows that actually overlook this road course.
Yeah.
So they do it in segments. You pick the building that you want to be in, where you want to be, the whole 9 yards. And almost everybody that's got a second level they put in an ultra tall lift.
Uh-huh.
So they literally bring the car up to the second level.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, we change out the car every time, we have a party. And I'm like,
It becomes part of the decor.
yeah. Every one of these guys was like filthy rich.
Right.
Porsches, Corvettes, Roadsters, antiques, all kinds of stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I would do with mine, because my garage, if like I said, if you put a lift, the car would be up into the living room. And I told the wife that I'm going to put a lift, and we're going to remove the living room is not going to be part of the garage.
Yeah. There you go.
That didn't go over too well.
That's what these guys do, and the way they do the floor, they put like a railing, but the floor is literally like 2 inches or so from the lift.
Yeah.
So there's like no gap when a thing is up there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of like where Mark Martin lives. Right, NASCAR. But instead of cars, it's the airport.
Right.
And he just taxied his plane. He flies everywhere, and he flies into his garage. It was pretty cool watching.
We have a bunch of those down here. Travolta lives in one in Gainesville.
Like John Travolta, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that one. It's in Ocala.
Yeah.
He's pretty crazy. They had a whole thing, and you see him come in, and they just kind of taxi in. You can turn the plane around and park it in the garage, get out, and he goes up.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. And Evan Smith's friend, that's a big Ford guy. He owns. Trying to think of the company. Some company that makes a lot of bolt-on Ford parts. He lives next door.
Oh yeah.
And he's got his plane there, and Evan did something with him, and they flew to some drag strip.
Was that Scott Drake guy?
I don't know.
I just read that Drake. I think it's Drake. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of reproduction, parts, high end stuff for Shelby's and Mustang.
Very well known and well revered, high revered company.
Drake. Yeah. Supposedly, I just read something that he sold to Holly or something like that, or whoever owns Holly.
Holly's buying up everything.
Yeah.
Funny because I found for the FJ, there's a guy I follow in California, and he said he finally found these holy grail. There's 3 knobs for the heater controls, and they're big knobs, and they're plastic. So he found a set of Drake knobs that are made out of billet aluminum with holes drilled in the side. They got the light, and they look really cool. They're much nicer looking than the black originals. But he said, they're discontinued, and you can't find them because I found these off of eBay, and they're in the original package and everything. So I started looking like crazy online, and you can't find them. I look up Drake because I thought I knew I heard the name, and then it came to me. I'm like, is that the Ford guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to call every Ford connection I have, but it wasn't. This place is still in business. I guess they did it while the truck was new, and then they just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on my wish list if I can ever. I may have my friend Christian out at Long Island Racing. It's a motorcycle shop. They do a lot of 3-axis milling and plastic. When they make their own parts.
Computer printing.
Yeah, but what's it called? Where they print your part.
Yeah.
Computer
yeah.
So I was gonna have him. I may have him just make them. He goes, "Yeah, that's a cool project. We could do that."
That's awesome.
3D graphic stuff. What is that stuff called?
Yeah, 3D.
3D printing. That's what it is.
Yeah, 3D printing. Right.
The jewelry store that we take care of the aquariums and the front windows, they have a 3D unit.
Yeah.
They'll design a ring on the computer.
Right.
And then they hit a button and it'll print it out. And it takes like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it actually makes the ring.
Yeah.
And then they put the stones in it.
So
you could see what your wedding ring really going to look like.
That's cool. That's great. That's a great idea.
It's awesome.
It's a great idea.
It's a great jewelry store because
Right,
it's
right.
downtown in St. Pete, and they have a kegerator,
Oh wow.
and he's got bottled beer. He's got like 3 or 4 different kinds of bottled beer, and he swaps out the tap like every week. He gets, not the big keg. It's like a 8th keg or something.
Right, right.
And he's got beautiful beer mugs and everything, and he's
Nice.
got a wine cooler,
Yeah.
and they bake cookies
Oh wow.
and pastries. They got the whole thing going,
Nice.
Yeah, damn right.
Right. So you go there, and and like on all of the counters are beautiful, beautiful crystal bowls loaded with candy.
Oh, nice.
So it's like crazy. I don't do that tank anymore. My guy Brad does the dual tanks that are there. But I would just constantly be grabbing stuff,
Yeah.
And the boss would be like, I got chocolate chip cookies coming out of the oven.
Yeah. Nice.
That's crazy.
I'm like, oh my God.
That's
So it's, like you get these older couples that come in, they're retired, and she's looking at jewelry, and the husband's over there drinking beer.
Yeah, sure. Keep everybody happy.
It's
Yep.
in the lounge. They're feeding him beer and wine, whatever he wants.
And once they get to that right point, the sign the bottom.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's
Whatever you want,
hilarious.
dear.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
There's a lot involved over in those places, though, that I learned as we were building out that store.
Yeah.
That the lighting is
Oh, yeah.
all geared to making that jewelry look
Pop.
like $1 billion.
Yeah, that's like when the HID lighting came out, it like made that stuff pop.
Yeah.
But it's hot as hell. So now the LED
Yeah.
is the way to go.
That's it. They use all LEDs, and it was a fight because there's LED lights that light up the showcases up front.
Yeah.
In the window, what would normally be the window showcases is where there's aquariums, and I had a fight with them to change out
Right.
the bulb
Yeah.
to something that was more along the lines of what we would use in an aquarium, because there's no lights on top of these tanks.
Right. Fish don't understand LEDs.
There's 5 lights, 5 spotlights, and I told him, I said, dude, I need like 10K or 12K lights in
Right.
there.
Right. You need a warmer
you
light.
know? Yeah. So
Yeah. Fish don't understand LEDs.
nah, that's hilarious. It's a great place, though. I think we've been taking care of that place for about going on like 6 years now.
And how many pieces have you purchased from him?
Oh, I've bought stuff for Barb.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Nice, beautiful jewelry store. It's got a lot of antique watches,
Yeah.
stuff that's like a couple $100,000.
Wow. Wow.
Oh yeah, some crazy stuff. Like when we go in there, we have to get there before the staff shows up.
Yeah.
We got to drag everything in. When they get there, they lock the door.
Yeah.
Once that vault is open, nobody comes and goes
Right.
until everything is put in the cases, and the cases are locked and the vault
Right.
is shut. And
Right.
it's funny because they use, those aluminum carts that have the baking trays,
Bakery racks. Yeah.
bakery racks. That's what they have, like 10 of those bakery racks
That's a lot
that
of
fit
product.
in the vault.
yeah.
That's a lot of product, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's unbelievable. And they don't take everything out of
No.
the showcases. They leave, like the lower end stuff that you would get at the mall,
Right.
and things like that stay in there in the cases anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they put the white gloves on,
Yeah.
and they unlock all of the drawers. We're doing what we do, and they're over there with these bakery racks. Pull out the rack, and they're laying out all of these necklaces and bracelets and rings and watches. It takes a solid hour to an hour and a quarter for them to load in.
Yep.
And then we can open up the door and kind of come and go and do whatever
Right.
the other stuff we need to do. And then at night, same thing.
They got to
They
break
take
it
an
down.
hour
Yeah.
to an hour and a half to pack everything back up
Sure.
every day.
Yeah.
My
7
uncle
days a
used to
week.
run a jewelry store, And man, he said that was a lot of prep.
A lot of work. A
A lot of prep and a lot of cleanup. I mean, it's just not, hey, it's 5 o'clock, we're out of here.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, loading up, moving that stuff around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts.
So I don't know.
What kind of cup is that, Brian?
That's a Donald Duck.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good.
It's one of those. It's one of those party cups, you know, from like one of the kids' birthday parties. And they're. I don't know. You probably see me every Thursday. I'm always drinking out of one. Usually, it's what was that Disney character that redhead chick, the Brave? Was it Brave?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot of redheads in Disney.
Yeah. Well,
wasn't there a redhead?
She was God, what was it? I can't remember.
No, I think she's a redhead. Yeah, Ariel was a redhead. She wore.
No, that was a mermaid thing.
Oh, Little Mermaid, right?
That was a mermaid.
Little Mermaid, right? That is.
I can't remember what the Brave. I think it's Brave was from the movie, but I usually have that. And my favorite one is the Toy Story one with all the eyes, you know, from the character Buzz.
Right,
but they're actually really good coffee cups for me. That's what, and so that's what I
perfect
run. I got to make sure I do the. I got to go down my list because the girls will be back Saturday night.
Ooh.
So
clean up, brother. Clean up.
Man, you had
2 weeks. Yeah.
Turn the dishwasher on. Turn the washing machine on.
Yeah.
I did the wash. I ran it this morning before I left, so I got to go down and take care of that. And
that Roomba going through the floor.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Actually, the only thing that's really bad is just the kitchen table because I made the kitchen table my office.
It became the home office, yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta clean that up and make sure hopefully I didn't stain the table place. At least and I gotta go down and clean the pool table off. The pool table's been a catch-all.
You know, yeah, it is. It is.
A really bad catch-all.
My wife's got a thing. I don't know why she likes using tablecloths, you know, and then she'll feed me like spaghetti and with sauce. And then she'll come in, I just put that tablecloth on your slaughtered sauce. Like, what the fuck? I wipe my mouth on. I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
The tablecloth, I'm gonna wipe it off the table. So now you put a tablecloth on.
That's why we bought a glass table.
Yeah. It's like, you know,
easy to clean.
So now you gotta wash it.
You know, I got my computer fixed. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
From being dead off. You flip it up, you hit the power button, 4 seconds, fully booted.
You know, on a similar note, last Sunday before the show, Chris was talking to me, and he's having laptop and PC problems too. And one of the problems he had, he said when his computer goes into sleep mode, sometimes he
has trouble waking up.
Right. And I said, you know what? Mine's doing the same damn thing.
That's a Windows 10 issue. They've had that in XP. They've had it in 8. They've had it in 10. It's a Windows thing.
Well, you're right. I came home, and later that day, I Googled it, and a couple of videos came up. I watched a couple of these videos, and out of 3 of them, everybody pretty much said the same thing. So I followed what the one guy said, and I made the changes. And then, I didn't want the screen just staying on because then that's not good. It can burn in. So I just activated the screensaver again, which didn't work before. And now I come down, the screensaver's going, I hit any key, and boom. Right back instantly.
Did you have to go into the registry?
I didn't have to go into the registry. It was all settings that I was able to change in menus. Pretty much in like the power setting menus and things like that. You had to tell it never to go to sleep, because it was a sleep mode thing. It was really easy stuff to do. So I told him, I said, listen, here are the videos, watch them. I said, I did it, and I'll let you know. And then like the next day I sent him an email and said, dude, I'm telling you, immediately I'm seeing it. It just like is right back to life.
Right.
So
If,
I don't know
if
if he
you
did
if
his
you
yet.
move the mouse, it'll open it right up. The
Right.
whole deal.
I mean,
Yeah.
and sometimes I could sit there hitting buttons like I'm a fucking banging on, like, wake up, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will, and then sometimes it doesn't want to wake up, and you got to just shut it off.
Yeah, I know that. I've been there.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm completely amazed. And it's just like the girl at the repair place said. She did the diagnostic and said, you got problems with the hard drive. It's getting ready to crash.
I'm thinking about that because the computer I use now, it's 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I know, it's not a solid state drive, and they get beat up. So I'm thinking about just putting another drive in it before something happens.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's an easy swap.
Well, I got to swap all the data over. I got to, it's.
Well, the best thing you can do is to drag the data off the hard drive onto like a backup kind of a thing.
Right.
And then load fresh and then just drag back what you need.
Yeah.
But she said, put the hard drive in, when she went to settings and then she looked at the processor. She's like, you got a good processor in here. She says, and you got a really large amount of RAM. I'm like, I ordered it that way. She said, so with this solid state drive, she goes, you'll be amazed at how fast this computer is.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine, because to me, it never really seemed to be a really fast laptop from day one. I was a little disappointed in it, They put this hard drive in there. They loaded a fresh Windows and gave it to me. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She goes, here, watch. And she shut it, took the mouse and she shut it off. Then she hit the power button. And literally within a second, the Dell comes up. Then the screen goes black. And then it opens up to the desktop.
Wow.
It's like the count of 4.
Yeah.
And now when I'm on the desktop, double click on like on the Google icon, it's like, bah, just opens.
That's how, a computer should be like that. It should be snappy. It's just,
it's 2021,
you think about it,
man.
should open.
Stuff should work.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, 2021.
It's 2021.
It's true.
Did you see Trump went to Texas yesterday?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I like what South Dakota's doing. They're sending like National Guard. They're paying to send people down, to work on the wall. I like what Trump said about the wall. He goes, hey, you know what? You really got to paint this like it's rusting. He goes, you got to paint it black so it'll be even hotter and they can't climb it. They'll get burned.
He's actually slightly evil.
Yeah, I know.
He really is. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, people are finally, it's been coming out in the news more and more. They're finally starting to mention things.
And
that
you know
aren't
what?
Right.
It's even the people on his side are going, what's up with this president?
Yeah.
There's something going on here. This guy ain't right.
Right.
So I don't know.
And of course, they put his wife always on Vogue magazine.
Oh yeah, because they'll never put Melania on.
Well, they did, of course, and they said they made a point in the news about saying how every president's wife since Truman has been on the cover of Vogue. It's like a gimme, except for one.
Yeah.
The last one.
That's
I
look at that and I'm like, how could there possibly be that much hatred for a non-politician?
Yeah.
Granted, he's an asshole. Granted, he acts like a 5-year-old all the time. He never shuts up. He's got an ego the size of Manhattan Island. But he means well in what he's wanted to do,
Yeah.
But let's just snub him. Let's snub his wife. Let's continue to blame him for everything.
Yeah, my take on it is
they're totally blaming him for everything that's going wrong in this country.
my take on it is it's just like out of the hell movie was that? Cleavon Little and Blazing Saddles. It's like, hey, we got to protect our phony baloney jobs. The professional politicians are so threatened by anybody who isn't them because they don't have anything on them. I mean, these guys have years and histories and careers of people knowing what they've done because they've been involved with. It's like being in the mob. I mean, you know what the guys are doing because you did it with them.
Sure.
He had nothing on him. So they had to hate him because he threatens their very existence. And that's, I think, in my impression, that's where it comes from. That's my take on it. You know.
So it's unbelievable, the things that are going on. It's just making me sick.
Yeah. I mean, you got your buddies, you got your friends, and if something goes on, you can say, hey, listen, keep that quiet. No, I'm going to, hey, listen, I can tell them about when you remember like 3 years ago, and they'll, whoa, don't go there. Well, now a new guy comes in who nobody knows from out of town, and he's making waves. What are you going to say to him? Hey, we'll drop a dime for what? You don't know. So, I mean, just now they're going after him, of course. Now the guy who ran his
the financial guy.
Yeah, he turned himself in. They go after stuff like that.
They made some good points on the news today. They're like, okay, they want to string this guy up and say, yeah, he was doing bad stuff, and that the company was paying for his grandkids' schooling and a free apartment and the whole 9 yards for his son and his wife, his son's wife and everything. And the guy that I was listening to was like, that stuff goes on all the time.
Everywhere.
And it's been going on all the time. And if you want to convict this guy of doing that, then you need to drag the CEOs and the board of directors of every major corporation up in front of the judge.
Right.
He said this stuff goes on in GM, Ford, and Chrysler. It goes on in Sony. It goes on in every one of the major motion picture houses.
Oh, yeah.
He said every major corporation, Walmart, all of them, that's what they do. It's all part of the game. So there's really nothing here to put this guy in jail for.
Right.
No, it's just insane, that they would go after somebody like that for income tax evasion. It's like, you know what? Just leave him alone. He's not the president anymore. But he still threatens them.
Yeah.
He's a huge threat to these guys. It's just insane. I'm still waiting for, I think the clock is ticking. There's going to be a new variant. Now they're saying that this one is like super contagious.
Oh.
The Delta variant.
This Delta, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's a super contagious variant, and we may have to go back to wearing masks right here. But I keep that calendar.
Yeah.
They got about another 6 days to come up with another variant. So I'm just trying to figure out what country they're going to say this one came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys everything opened up down in Florida today.
Oh yeah. Everything's open in Florida.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Disney, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight was the first. The girls were happy at least because tonight was the first night. They've been down there for 2 weeks, or this week and the week before. Yeah. But Disney didn't have any of the fireworks like they did or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like they only had like a quarter of the characters out. I mean, they were just, nothing there. But today, full blown, everything out. They had the fireworks. They had the whole 9 yards and everything. Because today was the reopening or the main opening of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you guys, I was in the city on Monday and it's back to hustle and bustle. There's people, freaks and weirdos everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just, the crowds are back. But it's, I mean, I've seen it busier, on like during a holiday or whatever, but even in the summer I've seen, but yeah, it was definitely much more packed and populated.
Yeah, it was crazy. Well, I mean, I've noticed I guess it's been a month. You know, the traffic really picked up,
Yeah.
and now it's almost back to pre-pandemic.
Well, the problem here is the traffic came back, but most of these idiots are still driving like there's nobody on the road.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading about these. I read in the Daily News yesterday. There was an accident in Flatbush in Brooklyn. Some kid in a BMW, like a 2-year-old BMW, driving down the bus lane, speeding, and he ends up hitting a Mercedes, kills the driver in the Mercedes, continues on. He hit one Japanese car, I think it was a Hyundai. Then he hits another Mercedes and another BMW before he piles up on the sidewalk. And I'm just thinking, I know that neighborhood. How are these people all affording BMWs and Mercedes?
Yeah,
It's like,
right?
you
Something
know,
like that.
Yeah.
it's
But
ridiculous.
yeah, they're doing that down here. It's like, God, I-4 and I-75 it's like every day I feel like I'm in an episode of Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
They come right around me.
They here they lowered the speed limit.
Did they?
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
talking
they
about that,
they lowered, so like in the town or in the city parts where it was like 35, it's down to 20 now.
Wow.
But see, they changed the speeding thing. So if you're doing 20 above the speed limit, it's now a felony.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So they dropped all the speed limits in those areas to 20-25. So doing 20 overs at 50, which what it used to be. So like I said, you got thank God the tool truck doesn't go that fast, but you know, you're used to, I mean, 50 is not like outrageous because that's what it was before in that area.
Yeah.
But now that because they've changed that and changed that law, man, they could throw the book at you in a heartbeat.
Sure, that's crazy.
Fast and felonious.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But they
I like
are
to play with these idiots, you know. Like
yeah, but man, they are out in full force, man. I tell you, you can tell that the 15 months or 14 months that we were in our isolation booth, you know, they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because you know, a few of my buddies that are police officers, that are cops. You know, they said, dude, they couldn't risk getting sick and then taking it back to the barracks. So you know, so you know, unless you were killing somebody, it was a blind eye, you know.
Sure.
And
we got cops out driving they're running in unmarked vehicles now.
Yeah.
They're driving around in stuff that you would never think was even a cop car.
They do that up here in Nassau. With the cars they confiscate, they turn
That's
into
what they do here.
police cars.
Yeah.
So,
I got them rolling around in brand new Challengers.
Oh yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah, those are our
pickups.
police cars here.
Yeah, we've
Chevy
had those
pickups.
for a while. I see
it in all
like
kinds of stuff.
I see them in like Jeep Laredos and like
Yes.
Durangos and they'll pick one that's even like 5-6 years old, so it really doesn't get your attention, you know.
Yeah, we got. I saw a guy yesterday in a what's the small Toyota, the Corolla.
Really?
Yeah, he was in a Corolla.
He must have been a new guy.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, they're in up here. They're in everything, dude.
Yeah.
You're sitting at a light and you look over and you're like, damn, look at that. He's in a.
You see the laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're driving everything now, and they're pulling people over. They're hiding in the weeds, the whole deal. So you got to know where they hide.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But
thank God
that everybody's driving crazy fast down here.
Yeah.
Like 80, 85 is like the norm.
Yeah. It's like the LIE.
And they're passing me like I'm standing still.
Yeah.
And one of the big problems, I guess it's the same everywhere now, though, but I noticed it's a huge problem down here where people are so distracted.
Yeah.
And then traffic down here, you could be cruising along and then all of a sudden it comes to almost like a dead stop.
Oh, great.
So people roll right into the back of your vehicle.
Yeah.
Because they're not looking. and they hit the brakes too late. They can't stop, so they bang you. If they have the room, they'll jump into the next lane.
Yeah.
You know? You see that all the time where they're off on the shoulder. But so I have learned, I've adjusted my driving to, I'm constantly checking the rearview mirror.
You have to.
So I see these morons that think they're in a movie coming up on me. And then I like scope around. I'm like, okay, well, this guy's going to come around me on the right. And he's going to, before he gets to that tractor trailer, he's going to cut me off. He's going to shut the back door on me. So I'll adjust my speed accordingly. And as he's catching up, I'll nail it. And I'll close that gap that he can't get around me and cut me off. Yeah. I get flipped a bird all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, So the next thing I'm going to wind up doing is I'm buying one of those mag mounts to mount your gun off the dashboard.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to wind up going, come on, motherfucker. You want to?
Great.
Let's go. I'm just done with these idiots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get them. I love because they can't see around the tool truck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so and I don't know why, but they always want to pass me on the right.
Yeah.
And of course, like I said, they can't see around me, so they don't see there's a car there. So I love it when they jump around me. Now I can't speed up in the tool truck.
Right.
Yeah. But what they try to do is they try to slow back down to get back around me.
Yeah.
So I slow down. So then, of course, it drags them along, and then they have to speed up and to get around me, But it's by that time, usually somebody else has come around and got in front of me. So they're in this whole box, for the 35 seconds that,
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny when I do that. I let off and drag back so they can't get back around me. And by the time they speed up to get in front, somebody's already come around and filled that spot,
Yeah.
And
I
then
love
they
playing with guys like that.
Yeah, then they end up passing on the shoulder. They do the Smokey and the Bandit thing.
Yeah. Well, that's when you
off
kind
into
of
the-
like, you drift into the shoulder, and he winds up in the grass sideways.
I've been doing a move for years. I like to say I patented it when I was driving the Mazda. Because I'm on a highway, I'm in maybe the left lane. I'm doing 65, which is fine for the Meadowbrook Parkway. It's like, where you going? And guys will tailgate me, and usually it's in a big truck or an SUV, and they want to intimidate you. I'm like, yeah, you ain't intimidating me, So, and they'll flash their lights, and I'm like, now I'm definitely not moving. Screw you. I'm not moving. And they'll bust around me to the right. Wow, take off, and of course, cut right in front of me. And as soon as they do that, I time it. As they're cutting in front of me, I move over to the right.
There
and
you
I
go.
think guys are, like, fuck yeah. Like, see ya. I wanted to be over there anyway. I was just waiting.
I like to do the brake check. You're on the gas, and with your left foot, you slam the brake real fast.
Yeah.
And then it's like you see them nosedive. Whoop!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they come around you and they like start cursing you out. And I just
that's a touchy maneuver.
blow them a kiss.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a 2-foot maneuver, so you don't lose any speed.
Right.
You just got to bang it to get the brake lights to go on without
be
cutting
careful,
down any mile an hour.
Usually in the
And then you
tool,
blow them a kiss when they come by you.
Right.
when somebody comes up on me, and of course I really miss because I don't have Brianna's car or my truck, but I have a rear camera, so I could watch what's going on behind me, and they'll come up on you, and so as soon as I see that they're getting ready to go to the right or to the left, I put the turn signal on like I'm getting ready to go,
Oh, yeah,
and you can see them like they're just, and I do this like about 3 or 4 times. And by that time you've kind of slowed everything down and they're all worked up. I really wish it could get out of that tool truck would get out of its own way, but it ain't moving like that.
And now I've become the guy that I used to get stuck behind, because I'd get behind somebody in a van or a truck, and you kind of hang in traffic, and it's like the other lanes are moving. It's like, what's in front of this guy? You can't see around. I always hate that. So you finally get around, you see, no, there's nothing in front of him. He's just going too slow.
Yeah.
So now when you have Jay, the back window's black, and it's tall, and I get people like in cars that are riding my ass, and they don't realize like the lane in front of me is wide open. I'm just doing like 45 miles an hour, and then I almost feel bad because now like they're the old me. I'm like,
That's the old, yeah.
Go around, man. I ain't moving.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I get pissed off because if I'm doing 25 over the limit,
yeah,
and you're crawling up my ass, seriously,
right?
Yeah,
you can go around.
Right. That's there's no need for that.
There's no need for me to be going more than 25 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. In the left lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Down here, you get everything though, because you get Grandpa that's in the left lane and he's doing 50, and the speed limit is 70, and everybody's going 85.
Yeah.
And he's causing trouble because he's just tooting along, and he's like barely looking over the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's living in Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well.
My truck intimidates people because it's wide and big.
Yeah.
You pull up behind somebody, you got that giant GMC front end.
Yeah.
They have 4-wheel drive. They have a tendency to like, I think I got to move over here.
And they are big. Yeah, they definitely are big.
Truck is huge.
That's what I miss with my, not driving the F-350 or the tool truck, because one day the wife saw me go down through town, through Burtonsville here. And she goes, you're really an asshole. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, when you're driving that tool truck, you drive right down the middle of the road. You don't even pickle it. You're like in the middle. You're like, but I was like, I'm big enough. No, I mean, you might get out of my way, And she hates when we take the F-350 out, because it's high, it's big, it's tall, wide, like you said, And she's like, God, you roll right up on, it's like when I roll up on these smaller cars, even like Brianna's Camry, when you roll up on it, the headlights are like above the trunk,
Yeah.
And hers is just a regular car. I mean, it's not lowered. You get these guys that are lowered, man. You're like beaming in their windshield, in the rear windshield.
Yeah. I get it a lot at night when I pull up to a traffic light and there's somebody in front of me and they have to flip the mirror.
Yeah.
And it's like, sorry, this is stock height from the factory. I didn't do anything here.
Yeah.
And, just because I got LED lights and you're still running, sealed beams from the 70s, it's not my problem.
Two candles.
Right.
Yeah.
Be like a little glowworm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So Ray, when are you going to drive the car? You got bad weather coming, man.
Yeah, that's why. So we had all the heat, and that's not a fun car driving the heat. Now we had the rain, so yeah, I have to. I don't know. As soon as I think it's going to rain tomorrow too.
We had a pretty nasty. What is it called? A shelf, a cloud shelf.
Yes. Sometimes they call them the mothership.
Yeah, man, we had a nasty one with the funnel clouds in it today.
Wow.
It was nasty today, man. Even in Brianna's Camry, thank God I wasn't in the tool truck. The wind driving down the road, the wind was blowing that little car and her. You could feel it was like the wind. It was like a pocket of wind would come like being forced straight down, so the car would squat.
Wow.
And then come back up.
Really?
It was the weirdest thing, man, with the way the wind was blowing today.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then it would it's like taking your hand on a kid's head and shaking the head, like the car would just wobble for a minute. And it was like, holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah.
The wind was terrible down here. They said they had, wasn't too far from here, but they said it hasn't been confirmed yet, but they said it was a couple tornadoes hit.
Yeah, we just had rain, a little bit around the day, and around 6, like they said, it came in. That thunder came in. It was like shook the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rained. I don't think it's raining. I mean, if it's raining out, it's not hard enough for me to hear it.
Yeah.
I've been getting that every day for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know the girls were pissed off because I mean we've been to Florida enough, and you always know that you get your 2:30 rain shower thing. You know what I'm
Depends.
saying?
It in the last 2 weeks it's been swapping.
Yeah.
So it's coming from the West Coast going east will hit you in the afternoon. But last week it was starting in the East Coast and going west.
Yeah.
So the mornings were kind of crappy out that way.
So and my wife said that Jenny had said that, and the girls had said that it's kind of like it would rain 10 to 11, and then you still had 1 to 2, and then 4 to 6 or something. It was like 3 times a day instead of just a 1.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been having a ton of rain. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
makes it hard to work.
Yeah. And get around and travel. Yeah, it sucks too.
Yep. So yeah, but it was crazy. The wind today was crazy, and the lightning.
Hey, did you guys see the video that the White House is? It's their propaganda video that they put out about electric vehicles.
I heard something about it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's like total propaganda. It's just some little old biddy. They're both government. There's 2 women, both government people. One of them is something to do with energy, and she's like a secretary of energy or some shit like that. And she's driving a brand new Chevy Bolt, which had me scratching my head because I'm like, and they on the video they actually have like the words on the bottom too, so you're reading what they're saying. And I'm like, why are they calling this car a Bolt? Isn't it a Volt?
Right.
And I'm like, if I was the CEO of GM, I'd be breaking somebody's face right now that they recorded this video. But then I actually looked it up, and they discontinued the Volt.
They did.
I didn't know
a year
that.
or 2 ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's the Bolt.
Right.
And it's this tiny little thing. Kind of looks like an old Cavalier. And so these 2 women are talking about it's a whole way of promoting Biden's like infrastructure energy deal.
His green energy thing.
Yeah, and it's like absolute bullshit propaganda.
Yeah.
And this woman, she's driving it. She's like, yeah, this is so awesome. And we could get rid of all of those dirty smokestacks. Yeah. And I'm yelling at the computer screen going, bitch, where's your fucking electricity coming from?
Yeah.
Smokestacks. Because the problem that this country never solved is how to make safe nuclear energy.
Right.
Duh. They started doing that, and then they stopped. And they should have been like Europe. Europe's got nukes everywhere.
And we're still paying for the decommissioned Shoreham plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Decommissioning.
So, I wind up showing a video to Barb, and she's like, well, how far can you go on that thing? So we bring it up. It's got a 300-mile range. She goes, oh, okay. So, like, if you were to have one of those and you have to go to Fort Myers and back, you got to wind up getting a hotel room. And I'm like, yeah, because I drive 400 miles in a day, and it takes 12 hours to charge that thing to go 300 miles.
And not only that, this just came up. We were talking, and I want to look into this. I know that if you use the AC, you're using power, but how do they
reduce it even more?
How do they make heat? Where does the heat come from in the winter?
Oh, I'm probably just like the AC unit I have. It's got an electric strip in it.
It's like a heat pump.
Yeah, it must be, because that's
they probably use a heat pump.
That's energy too. You're creating. That's
absolutely.
Suck
power.
The
compressor could be a heat pump, a small one.
Yeah.
So you get your heat and AC.
Right.
And then like on all the houses in Florida, the central AC, there's a heat strip that they call the emergency. Because heat pumps only work to a certain temperature. Okay. Like if you get some days down here where it's like really cold in the 30s, depending on where you are, most of these heat pumps will only make lukewarm air.
Yeah.
There's
So
got
if
to be
your house gets really cold, you have to take your thermostat and you hit the emergency heat,
yeah,
which there's a grid like a toaster
right.
in the handler, and that starts to heat up, and that makes the air even hotter coming into the house.
There's got to be different types because on my Mitsubishi, my Mr. Slims, we use them for heat in the winter. And I mean, we get down into the teens, and those things are cranking out heat.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess there's different models, different versions.
Sure. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, people, they just buy into the electric car
They're
thing.
totally selling it. Oh, these electric cars, they're so amazing. They do this, they do that, they do this. Oh, and you just plug it in, and they're not giving any of the real information.
Yeah.
And it's all about this infrastructure bill. And they keep saying it's the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Sure.
Sure, they want to make sure that everybody on the left, on the right, and in the middle is all brainwashed into this absolute fucking bullshit.
And what happens when your range, you're at toward the end of your ranging, it's stuck in a unforeseen traffic jam?
Oh, well, President Biden's bill, they're going to put in 500,000 charging stations.
On the BQE, they're going to put one?
Yeah, right,
exactly.
exactly.
They're going to just go hook up? I don't think
it's unreal, And Barb's like, why? Why would you even think of that?
Well,
I want to travel. I want to take a road trip. I want to drive back to Long Island. It's going to take me 3 fucking days to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
When I could do it in 20 hours.
Yeah.
I would have thought, because I have common sense. You need to work on power generation, okay? Get that part of the infrastructure working. At the same time, you're bolstering up the grid. Then you could worry about electric cars and all this other shit.
Yeah.
What about propane? You see that on buses and trucks everywhere.
We got propane
That
buses.
stuff's very, very clean.
Sure.
Why aren't they pushing the big 3 into these propane-powered vehicles?
Right.
Electric, they're nowhere near. Until they can say, okay, you could drive 1,000 miles on a charge, I'll never own an electric vehicle. It's just not going to happen.
Well, the biggest problem is after you buy it, and then you come home, and then you realize your house isn't even equipped to charge it.
You're not equipped.
Because, your house was built in 1957.
Right.
And, the biggest circuit breaker that you have in it is a fucking, 10 or 15.
Well, you still have fuses.
Yeah. And, then you can't. So then you have to spend all this extra money to have a plug because, you can't even, it would take twice as long to charge up your car because your house is even suited for it.
Right. That's the whole problem with Washington. It's okay. Here's what we want to do, and here's the points that we can sell because this is the candy coating, and don't worry about that other shit.
Yeah.
So let's just push, and convince everybody this is what they need to have, but we're not going to tell them about the other things.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's zero common sense. This whole country is totally lacking in common sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's, we're just loaded with a bunch of fucking assholes, and they love the media and they love what they see on TV, and they think that everybody that tells them something is an expert in their field. And he said this, and it's got to be the way it is. But nobody does any research on anything.
No.
Sheep. They're sheep.
Yeah, they are. They're sheep. It's absolute. I'm glad I'm old, and I'm glad I got a finite amount of time left here, because this place is going to be a fucking dump.
Oh, it is.
By the time I go,
it's going to be nasty.
It's going to be ridiculous. And you know what? When I leave, I leave. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, well, the only problem is I worry about my girls, though. But
yeah,
well, there's that. Yeah.
The only thing about that is they don't know. I keep trying to also remind myself or tell myself is they didn't know what it was like when I was a kid.
They've already been indoctrinated. I saw it when my kids were in school even years ago. I saw what was happening.
Yep.
This ain't right. They're pushing
No.
kids through left and right. And I saw my kids' friends who should have been left behind were like being pushed through. And then being in a school, working in a school, I see it there too. We get all these kids in that shouldn't be attending college, but they give them all these they opened a whole department for remedial education. The high schools aren't they're kicking them out because they want the credit with the state. It just they kick the can down the road, like make it somebody else's problem.
Yep.
No child left behind.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
They just move them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Barb was, she's getting ready to go back to work soon. So she's looking at testing statistics.
Yeah.
She knows what she did with the fourth graders and how they made gains, what they came in as. And I mean, she's got kids that come in, they're on, like, she teaches fourth grade, and she'll get kids that come in that are reading on a first grade level.
Wow. Yeah.
How do you teach somebody like that,
Yeah. It's very hard.
It's ridiculous. So she's looking at the third graders' overall scores and where they're lacking, and she's like, the third grade teachers where I work, they don't even know how to teach.
Yeah.
She says because
Brianna,
I got a group of kids coming in that they should have never left kindergarten.
Brianna's preschool into kindergarten, and now Brianna's just starting out in this. It's what she's going. She's getting her degree in, and she's got her 90-hour thing, and she's just starting out. But man, she comes home and says these kids aren't even ready for kindergarten.
Yeah.
Great.
She said it's crazy, and then the kindergartners to go into first grade or whatever, they're not even. I mean, it's starting that early. It's just when Jenny ran a daycare, she got overly frustrated with it because the parents, like everything else, were just. It was like a babysitting. They would just drop them off. And you would try to no interaction about working with the kid or so like you said, it's
well, no, the parents their idea was that's the school's job.
Yeah.
The school should teach them. Hey, you know what? I did homework with my kids right straight through. I was helping them in college with stuff like, hey, you need help. If I can help you, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
I was very active with that. I believe in that. I know a lot of people.
But that was, like I said, when we were, it's like the brownies or, Girl Scout stuff.
Yeah.
We would, because, at one point we were, well, I can't say Jenny, I, tried to help out where I could. But, Jenny was everything. And, that was, you're supposed to, have participation from the parents.
Sure.
In there, of course, they thought it was like a play date. They'd be at the front door dropping the kid off and say, "What time do you want me to pick her up?" Well, the meeting is from this time to this time. Oh, are they going to stay and play as a half hour after? Or what, and I'm like, no, you come here and pick them up.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Brian used to help them out and say, "Okay, girls, listen. If Johnny loses 4 10mm sockets a month and Jose loses 6, but he buys 2 at Walmart." How many do I have to bring at the end of the week?
No, the funny part, I was no longer allowed to help out when we were looking for new patches, and my suggestion was taking apart and putting back together the Glock. and we can make a patch with the Glock. And then we can have the pipe bomb, making the pipe bomb. And Jenny said, "That's it. You can go back downstairs.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need your help,
No.
But I figured we were going to have one tough group of girls here.
Hey, field stripping a Glock is easy.
Yeah, field stripping. That's why I figured.
Yeah.
The Ruger I have is a little bit more complicated, but the
I mean, yeah, somebody got to drive a pin out to pull the slide, but those all pull apart easy.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we're gonna change it. We're gonna change the recoil spring now. Let's see who can do it fastest.
And considering I have about 2, 4, I have like 5 or 6, 5 Glocks. You know, that's my favorite. So I figured I had enough to sit around the campfire, stripping and putting
enough for all of you.
Enough. Okay, everybody, break up with your partner. Have pairs.
They were hard to get a while ago, so I ended up buying the Smith copy. Sigma series is a copy of the Glock, the Zytel frame with a steel slide. It's a Smith and Wesson, so it's it's a real deal.
I want to buy a Glock 21.
I wanted the 23. That was like the medium, not the I don't think it was the compact. That was like the mid-size. I lost track of all my Glock numbers. I used to know them.
Yeah, all of mine are first generation Glocks. Mine are all old. Actually, I have my 45 is it's first generation, and it's actually a 19 body, I think it is. It's a smaller body than what the newer Glocks are. You know, the 45.
19 was a full size. That was a full size 9. The Glock.
Yeah, but it's the 17. Oh, it's a 17 with a 19 head on it or something like that. It's a funny. I've only had a couple people look at it and they say, "Are you ready to sell it?" Because it's unmolested.
Yeah.
And they had to change because they had problems. They had to put 2 pins in for the trigger, and I still have the 1 pin. Mine's a real early 45. I love shooting. It's a great gun to shoot, but
I took my carry permit with a 19.
Yeah.
And the instructor was like, "You're gonna carry a 19?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I says, "Because after this, it'll be a 44."
Yeah.
She goes, "Where you gonna stick that?" I go, "In my pocket, down my thigh."
Yeah. I got a 6-inch barrel.
Like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
That's the instructor that they want you to ask questions, and you're with a whole group. And we were talking. I think I told you about this story. They were talking about like when somebody bursts through your door, what you should do. You should yell stop and pull the gun and point it at them. And I'm like, she says, and if that doesn't work, then you pull the trigger. And I said to her, I go, what happens if you got a light trigger or you're nervous and you got an itchy trigger finger and you drop the whole clip in the guy? She's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I go, I didn't invite him to knock my door down and come in my house.
Yeah.
I said, so if I wind up, emptying the clip on the guy just to make sure he's dead, she's like,
oh, look,
you're twisting the rules here. I go, hey.
This isn't a sniper situation with like a 50 cal, sniper rifle, and I got one shot, one kill. It ain't that. Like,
Yeah. No, I told her. I said, if they come through the door, they're leaving in a body bag. I said, and to be honest with you, I got a shovel and I got lime and I got a backyard. She's like, oh my God.
That's when you say when they bust through the door and when you shoot them, you just gotta make sure they don't fall back out, because if they do, you gotta drag them back in the house.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I had I don't know if I ever told you, I had at one of my gas stations one night. A guy walked up and shot a guy in the back of the head at the pumps.
Ooh.
And I had just left. The station, and so the next, of course, I heard it on the scanner, the police scanner, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So next week I went and talking to the tech. And he's like, yeah, dude. He goes, right after you left, man, this dude walked up and shot this guy in the back of the head at the pump. He was putting gas in his car, And I was like, wow, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, and the funny part was the owner of the gas station ran out there and dragged the body away from the pumps because he didn't want the police to shut down the pumps because he was too busy about, getting. And he's out there like trying to hose off all the blood and got this guy laying over in the corner. The cops show up, tell him he can't do that. But this guy,
tell him you missed the brain matter on the oil can rack.
Yeah, that guy. He was a Pakistan, the guy that owned the place,
Yeah.
And he was locked in his booth. The booth there, he was locked in. And I don't think he ever left, dude. Because anytime that I showed up, he was always working the window,
Yeah.
And I think that guy finally sold that station because I haven't seen him, but this was years ago. Guy was a long time ago. But so the shop would get something and they'd say, go see so-and-so for money, and this guy would never smile. And he's just constantly, taking money, for gas,
Yeah.
And I ended up calling him Mr. Happy because the guy never smiled. He would always bitched about everything because I would show him the ticket and he's like, that's too much. It's too much. Or, always yelling about the price and stuff. So it got to the point where I would start walking up and he would wave me around, to the back door. And all of a sudden, he would unlock it and I would step in and he would lock the door, And this is a small little booth, those little booths in the middle of the gas station pumps, And so one day I walked in there and he's literally standing on money.
Wow.
I mean, there's money piled up in there. And I was like,
God.
Dude, can't you even go to the bank? I mean, I said, you're going to somebody's going to rob this place. This is like Fort Knox, dude. This is like,
you got to put in a floor drop or something.
Yeah. I mean, and he's like, I'm too busy. Got to make money. And I hand him a ticket. Oh, it's too much. And I was, and he always wanted to talk down the price or whatever, But I finally told him, I said, dude, look, Mr. Happy. I said, I'm going to go down here and get you a hooker.
Yeah.
I said, man, you need to release some of that energy, dude. You piled up in here, got money all hell over, man. That place was crazy. That was such a crazy place. But the money would all be stacked and it would just be piled up. Unbelievable. So
did you see the video of a guy pumping gas in his car and a van pulls up? 3 dudes jump out and they want to jump this dude and probably hijack his car.
And he sprayed the gas all over him.
He sprays him with gas.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Guy comes up, he just pulls it out and sprays him in the face. Could you imagine how raw gasoline's got to burn the hell out of your eyes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
he was like, he filled that van up. I mean, he was spraying gas the guy
sprayed gas at the guy behind him, the guy in front of him, and at the van.
Yeah, he was like all over.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
I guess that guy's kind of lucky something didn't catch on fire like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that would have been one hell of a ball of flame.
I saw a video of some crazy woman pulled away with the pump still in the car.
Yeah.
And it flipped over. Instead, I guess they didn't have one of those breakaways.
Right.
Yeah.
On the hose. And the whole pump came down.
Yeah, with a pump full.
And it went instantly, was a huge fireball.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what a mess. I mean, it engulfed the camera.
I saw something yesterday on the news where in LA, the bomb squad. Did you see the bomb squad truck blew up?
Yeah.
I think they confiscated like tons of fireworks.
Tons. They showed on the news that they were bringing that stuff out on pallets.
Yeah.
On hand trucks,
yeah.
Boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. And then they found like homemade bombs.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we need to call the bomb squad for this.
Right.
And right there in the middle of the neighborhood, they blew these bombs up in this. It's a bomb squad container vehicle.
I was under the impression that
is supposed to hold the complete charge in.
It looked like a giant black bomb itself.
Yeah.
But I was under the impression that it wasn't supposed to go off. Like there was a mistake that happened. There was a car next to it, and you see the car was
rolled right over,
right up on its side. Yeah.
Wow.
The concussion was
blast.
so big, the truck completely disintegrated.
Yeah.
The doors opened up. The whole nose folded forward.
Like
the windshield exploded. The box, all the aluminum on the sides of the cargo box was coming off. The car next to it flipped up on its side. It blew out the windows in the homes on both sides of the street. People got hit with shrapnel. What a mess.
It was just like when Mythbusters used to blow something up at the end. They'd stick it in that quarry and blow it up. Like
right.
They blew up the cement mixer.
Well, on the news, because it was on tonight's news here, they showed it, and whoever was like the sergeant in charge over there said that they felt that these homemade bombs were too dangerous to transport.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the reason that they brought that truck so they could detonate them right there. But I guess they didn't calculate properly as to how much the blast, could have been. Right. I can't believe the way it annihilated that truck.
Yeah, it was wild.
It was unbelievable. I never seen anything like that in my life. I'm like, oh my God, a bomb truck that actually blew up. That was
those disconnect things are pretty. I mean, it takes a lot to disconnect.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't come apart real easy.
Well,
and
search around, you'll find the video. The doors blew open, the glass came out, the nose flipped up, the truck completely disintegrated.
You know what it was? The guys that made the bomb, they probably couldn't measure, and they were like, it was supposed to be grams or grains, and they were putting in grams or gross or something. They just put in like 100.
Well, I got guys that when they're doing the AC machine, and they read between pounds or grams.
Right. Well, John, you would have laughed about this. It was funny. Last Saturday, I was talking to Brian. We're trying to figure out this Milwaukee ratchet. There was a bushing that was missing. So, giving him measurements. I took measurements, and then he's giving me measurements. He's like, "No, it's like 10 millimeters." Like, but I'm using an American caliper. He's using a metric one. I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
that's the problem being a German guy. All my old school, regular stuff is all in millimeter. We didn't.
My dial caliper is inch and millimeter.
Yeah, well, I have one that does both. Well, I have one that's a digital one that does both, but I didn't have a battery in it. Right. So all I had was just one in millimeters.
I mean, my go-to is just a regular mechanical, American dial caliper, veneer caliper.
Yeah.
I had the American and digital. I just had to put the battery in and power it up. And I said, okay, now we're on the same page. Let's do that again. Conversions like, oh, screw it. Let's just start from scratch.
I know. It's kind of.
That was funny. I had a laugh over that.
Did you get any of the packages?
No, I saw, I got a thing through the post office. I see what mail is coming every day.
And
it'll tell me pack. So I saw there was a package today. I clicked on it, signed in, and it's yours. It's not going to be, they say it's not going to be here till like Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
Your post office tells you what's coming?
Yeah. I signed up for it. And like I said, every morning I get an email. And it scans. They'll scan the envelopes as they're coming down the thing. So I'll see a visual of every envelope that's coming in the mail that day.
Wow.
And then they'll tell you at the bottom if there's any packages coming. But yeah, it's set for Saturday.
Because I have it set up so that will tell me if it was delivered or not.
Right.
And it told me it was delivered, but I guess it's because it was delivered to your post office.
Actually, I looked at it this morning, and it was still down by. Yeah, I guess it was. You dropped it off the 30th, which was yesterday. So it was still down by you. It was slated for me. But sometimes I've had stuff that got to Jersey and sat in New Jersey for like 3 days. Like it got from Florida to there like in a day, and then it sat there for 3 days. Like, what the hell's going on?
See that irritates me. That irritates me because that means it sat here for 2 days.
Yeah. You know, I can tell you.
That because I dropped that off. I don't even know what day it was now.
It was the 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been Wednesday.
Yeah, because I put that. I went in. Well, I can't win. I can't win because if I like my UPS. See, my regular UPS guy is on vacation.
Right.
So I got this other guy, and he does the bare minimum. You know, it's and
all right. I can tell you. I can pull it up again now. Let me slide in.
But so if I set it at because I get UPS every day. So if I set it out to have it picked up, half the time they just walk right past it and never pick it up. So then if I run down and drop it off, it'll sit for a day at the UPS store,
I'll tell you what happened. 9:24 a.m. on the 30th, if it was in Spencerville, it was there 11:52 a.m. It departed Spencerville at 11:52 a.m. on the 30th. 7:15 that night, it arrived at the Southern Maryland Distribution Center. 12:43 a.m. on the 1st, which is today, it was in the Southern Distribution Center. It departed there. 1:22 a.m., it was in Hyattsville, Maryland. 6:04 a.m. this morning, it was in Hyattsville, Maryland. 11:26 a.m., it arrived at the Metro New York Distribution Center. Now, 8:30 p.m. tonight, it was in the Metro New York Distribution Center. 9:15 p.m., it was in Garden City. And expected delivery is actually, July 1st, today. Just 3 hours ago, it was in Garden City, which is literally 6 miles north of my house.
Yeah.
But expected delivery is July 3rd.
That's so weird.
How's it going to it's going to take 2 more days to come from 6 miles north to my house. So that's what they're saying now. I'll let you know what happens.
Yeah, I know. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you have no control over it. Once you drop it off, you got no control.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the road.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Me too.
Yeah, I got to start cleaning up. Who's stopping by and helping?
I wish I could. I'd give you a hand. Yeah. Make some brownies, make the house smell nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, luckily, it's not too bad. Like I said, I just got to clean up my office here.
Well, you clean up a little bit tonight, and then tomorrow you get the rest of it done. It's Friday, and then when they get back Saturday, it looks like you were never there.
Never there.
On it, right.
That's right. Me and Lucy. You going to help me?
Right.
Oh, what a pain.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
Okay, guys.
So for Lewis Lee, Greg Guarino, Chassis John, Echo Man Brian, Plane Traffic, we went like 3 hours. We went over 3 hours tonight.
Yeah.
3 hours. Not me. I was a lightweight. You guys started.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we still got one person watching.
Who the heck is that? Who's watching? Can you see who it is?
I don't know. I can't tell. It's oh no.
It says it was Lee.
Yeah, it was Lee.
Oh yeah.
Because he's logged in still, right? Or
I'm actually logged in as him.
Yeah, so it's you.
It's me. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. I'll be